Hello, 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 and welcome, Dynamos. Welcome to Gals, Gays, and Theys. Yeah, I'm JD Cargill. I'm your host, and of course, I'm never alone because we have the gorgeous Mariah Khorasani here, our director of engineering, our head of production, although her camera is not working at the moment, so you have a little bit of a fix on the air as we fly this ship as we're building it.
Yes.
You're in the right place if you're a marginalized person looking for a safe, warm place to call home. We welcome you here. You belong here. I know what it feels like to not be included. That was the definition of years of my life. Now I've created a place along with Mariah where everybody feels included. Now we have a lot of stuff to get to today, right, Mariah?
Yes.
Yes, and even though you can't see her, you can hear her. Our voice of an angel. And speaking of angels, you know, we do have a lot of fun here at GGT, but also it's important to us to honor our entire extended GGT family. And we've had a bit of unfortunate news, a loss, really. As you know, Mindy Stearns, who's one of my best friends and is my partner in crime on all things Friendsome and Then Some, along with our other partner in crime, Michelle Larego. The three of us host a friendship podcast that is all about improving the midlife condition through friendship. And well, Mindy's father-in-law has passed away, unfortunately. Gilbert Stearns was his name, and he had a very long and valiant fight with COVID, but in the end, he is up with the gods now and in heaven, and we love him and we honor him. Just at Christmas time over our, right here in the studio, we had a special Friendsome and Then Some episode, and we just want to honor Gilbert by playing a little bit of his appearance from that day.
And Gilbert, I just want to, for those of you all don't know, Mindy's husband's Glenn Stearns, the undercover billionaire. He is the father of the undercover billionaire, but his personal story is pretty epic. This man has ridden his motorcycle pretty much in every state, am I wrong, in this country. What are you doing now on that Harley?
And how was the ride to Hawaii?
Well, they were going to make a bridge, but they couldn't figure out how to keep the fishermen from fishing on it, so they didn't.
But you know what? You've still ridden a motorcycle in Hawaii.
I have ridden in every state, and I've ridden to Alaska 5 times.
Whoa,
Damn,
that's
cool.
awesome.
2 years ago, he was in an accident which almost killed him. He was in the hospital for a year, got MRSA twice, almost lost his leg, his hand, and this mofo bought a motorcycle the minute he got out of the hospital and said, F that, I'm going to go on living. And then the next summer he got out of the hospital on his 80th birthday, rode that motorcycle from Maryland to California.
Pretty impressive.
There is some grit in that soul right there.
We love you, Gilbert.
Stearns was 82 years old. He was beloved by many. He was surrounded by loved ones as he passed over. And our heart goes out to all of his friends and family. Glenn, Mindy, all of you. We love you. We support you. And we know that your father is now looking down on you and smiling and protecting you. Mm-hmm. Anytime anybody here in the GGT family is touched by anything, we want to honor it. We are about family first. The extension of our love goes to all of you, our friends and family and followers, and also anybody who's ever graced us with their presence here in the studio or been on one of our other podcasts, or we've had the lucky fortune of getting to know. If something has happened, we definitely want to honor you because this is our platform to do that. And we loved Gilbert. We know he's writing that story. I love that story, Mariah, because, you know, it just shows what a man. I mean, 80 rode his bike up to Alaska, and he lived a full, beautiful life. And we should all be so lucky. So our hearts go out to the friends and family of Gilbert Stearns. We love you, Gilbert. This weekend was packed with activity.
Very packed.
I want to do a little transition here now into some more fun family extended GGT fun. Both Mariah and I made our way down. We did that grueling drive from Los Angeles to Orange County. If you're from Southern California, you know that drive can be 45 minutes or 3 hours.
Yeah.
It just depends on the moment, depends on the day. Depends on the time of day.
Yeah.
So you and I both braved that drive. I took my friend Leslie on Sunday, but you went on Saturday. Where did you go?
I went on Saturday. So it's all comes together. It's really full circle because of how we met was through my Aunt Gina.
That's right.
And my cousin Jackson, her eldest son, senior in high school, 18. I can't believe it. He was like my
I can't either. I have a photo of him in
man.
my hands as a baby.
Yeah.
And then I just took a photo with him this weekend, and he's taller than me.
I know. He's so tall. He's
very
so
big.
grown up. And growing up, Jackson was like my like doll. Like he.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, like he was like my little best friend. Like I took him, you know.
Oh, I
kind of
bet.
thing.
Because you were 7 when he was born, so you were like the perfect little mom. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna take
I
care of
loved
him.
it. I was like, this is great. He's my best friend, and we've always had a close bond, Jackson and I. So going to, and he's been in theater for, I believe he's done like 12 shows at his current school.
Not
which
crazy.
Is like,
He's a senior now
12.
at Corona Del Mar High School in
Yeah.
Orange County.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Corona Del Mar. Y'all put on a fantastic theatrical arts program.
Truly.
My God.
The
It was like
talent.
going to Broadway.
truly, the talent in
It was
there.
wonderful.
I mean, theater is so amazing, and going to a show and every single, like, they're kids, like,
I know.
and all of them are able to sing super well, act super well, perform. I mean, musical theater is hard, and it takes a lot of talent to do that kind of thing. And
It was a great show too. Like
it was such a good show. I had never seen it or heard of it.
I hadn't either.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it called?
Something Rotten.
Yeah, and it's sort of a funny, sarcastic, satirical take
Right.
on Shakespeare. Will Shakes, you got the willpower. It's so good.
Will
It's all about
Shakespeare.
Exactly about somebody trying to come up with the ultimate performance.
It
It's a
was
sort of a show
so
about a
good.
show, which I love,
So
but
good.
set in the 1890s or no, the 1590s.
The
That's right, the
1590s, because there's a
1590s.
joke in there like, this is the 90s.
This is the night. That's what we say all the
Like,
time.
Yeah, and the girl's like, women are going to be equal to men in a few decades. And like everyone's laughing in the crowd like, oh,
You know, a few
we're
more
still
decades.
fighting that fight.
Exactly. At least we're getting better.
We
like
are.
we're all about positive news. I do feel like, did we already show some of the photos and stuff
I'll
from
pull
the
them up.
event? Let's show, because
Yeah.
we got to show the world how cute Jackson is. And also, Gina, shout out to you. Such a good
Look at
mama.
these
And
photos.
oh my gosh. So so you know what's great about this too? Anybody who has been in theater, like some of us were in high school especially, and then you're going to college. That transition between high school, like your whole life has been building up to this moment. And now you have this huge new chapter to look forward to that's so exhilarating and exciting.
Yeah.
But so watching these kids, and at the end of you went on Saturday?
Yes.
I went on Sunday. We both went to the matinees.
Yes.
The performance I went to was the very last performance of the show. So you could tell there was they were really sitting in those roles. They were relaxed. And at the
Pressure's
end,
off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let your freak flag fly, because it's all no holds barred here on the last presentation, right?
Yes.
But then at the end they do the thanking the cast and thanking the director and all the behind the scenes people, and I just loved you saw the love. You saw I don't know if you have that photo of the whole I don't know if at the beginning they said not to take photos. My friend who I took and I
think you can.
didn't hear that. If they did, sorry. We took a
think
lot
you
of
can.
photos and video, but it was just so sweet at the end of that performance to see how much they honored each other, stage managers, lighting techs,
Exactly.
gaffers, directors, everybody. This is the thing about the performing arts, is that it's the most collaborative art form there is. While people are off painting paintings by themselves or sculpting
Right.
sculptures by themselves, it takes sometimes hundreds of people to create a film or a play or a musical.
Yeah.
And so it was nice to see how everybody
So
honored each
cool.
other.
And I know, because we kind of saw maybe two different versions, because the show I saw was, so Jackson's girlfriend Sabina
Mm-hmm.
was played opposite him. And when you went, it was a different girl playing the
You're
role, because they had a
right.
switch. They kept switching off for that role.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So we probably saw two, which is super cool. That's what's so amazing about theater, is it's never the same.
And shout out to Sabina, because if she performed the entire role that you're talking about in your show, and then she was the lead dancer in my show.
Yeah, and I have a fun fact. So these are photos from when I went, and Jackson and Sabina kissing. I think it's the cutest photo ever.
Kissing his real girlfriend on stage.
I know, how cute is that? They're both
Scoot over,
seniors.
Brangelina. Oh, that didn't work out. Scoot over, Bennifer. There's a new Hollywood couple on the rise.
They're both seniors, and they she wants to be on stage. She might go to New York. They have so many dreams. It's so refreshing and cute. But she choreographed all the tap dancing. She taught everyone how to tap dance. She choreographed it. A ton of the dances were by her. And I think that's so cool. And I wanted to throw that out there because
it is very impressive. It is very impressive. And that they are at this age so talented across so many different things, dance, choreo, acting, writing. And then I really loved, I don't know about you, because whenever I watch a performance of anything, I'm like, which would I would want to be? Like, what role would I have wanted? Let me ask you first, what role would you have wanted? Something's rotten.
Probably. Oh, that's kind of hard because I always think it'd be most fun to play like the most outlandish kind of character.
I think me too. Like Will, that's
like
the part I would play. Yeah, exactly. Hello.
It just was so fun. And shout out to him. Like these
actors,
they're gonna be actors though. Like I'm like, because I did meet some of the parents. Because Gina's always like, she works in LA and all, and I'm like, I don't work like that in LA, but okay.
Come on down, kids. We got a whole studio here. We'll put you on TV. Let's do it.
So all the parents are like, she works in LA? And so then I'm talking to these parents, but he's like, yeah, he wants to be an actor. Yeah, she wants to be an actor. I'm like, well, honestly, I see it.
You know what it takes? These kids have what it takes because in order to be a working actor, I think that it takes 3 cornerstone things. One is a desire to do it for the fun of it and the art of it and not the fame of it. 2 is to have training in a meaningful way. And 3 is to have a support system, like a support network, a supportive family. So for those kids that have that and believe in themselves, because you got to believe in yourself to get anything done in life, they could go the distance.
Shakespeare was so funny.
The reason I gave, so, people bring flowers and different things to just show, to honor the performers. And I brought an aloe vera plant. You know what it is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, to give to Jackson.
Okay.
Because 1, the pokey bits of it look like a star. Aww, and I'm very aesthetic.
That's so creative.
And then also because I felt like I want to give something to someone who represents their career. Clearly, they're interested in a career in the arts. They're very good. They got a good start. Flowers are going to die. But this plant will always represent this moment. And if he keeps it alive, I feel like it could represent the resiliency and the strength of a good acting career. And everybody knows on the way to Hollywood, there's lots of bumps and bruises and nothing better than aloe. Break off a little of that, put some salve on it, and heal. I know.
Oh, man. Like, look at the stage presence.
It's just,
I'm so proud of him.
It is. And he's also got cool guy hair. Do you know what that is?
I know.
Cool. Oh,
it's like that surfer Cali boy.
I've never had cool guy hair. I've always had either a pineapple head because it was a bad perm gone sideways, or just some like boring conservative look. But he has like cool guy hair, thick, luscious locks of blonde hair. And
he's coming for you, Hollywood.
Exactly. Look out, Hollywood. Jackson Jaha Anderson. Congratulations, my friend. You are a star.
Woo!
All right. You know what we do every single time after our little catch up here at Gals, Gays, and Days? We like to give you the latest in the news and headlines that affect the gay world. This is the Rainbow Press. Welcome back. It's me, JD Cargill, host of the Rainbow Press and Gals, Gays, and Days. Let me tell you, there's a lot of news to get into today, but it has been very heavy lately. Our hearts go out to the gay LGBTQ plus and ally community of Ukraine, as well as everybody in Florida dealing with those crazy laws. But today we're going to keep it light and positive because we want to do a Rainbow Planet segment that is all about the great, good gay news of the world. So, speaking of Florida, here's a positive twist on that. New York City's mayor, Eric Adams, wants gay Floridians to know they can always move to New York City. In response to the recent passing of Florida's Don't Say Gay bill, the newly elected mayor started an ad campaign encouraging LGBTQ plus Floridians to move to New York City, where they can absolutely say gay. The campaign features a rainbow-colored billboard, and it's been targeted at 5 major Floridian cities, including Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, and West Palm Beach. The campaign is being paid for by company funds, and I'll have to tell you, if I was driving around Florida right now, seeing a move to gay New York sign, I might be like, let me see how much tickets are. Also this weekend, headlines from the Grammys, the biggest night in music. And let me tell you, the gays were in full force. and one in particular, Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X gets this week's Sex Symbol Award. The artist is not only tearing up the charts, he performed a medley of 3 of his songs back to back to back, and get this, did not change wardrobe once or twice, but 3 times. Each performance had a unique outfit, and one was more sparkly and glamorous and ab-revealing than the next. I do believe we are on a new frontier here in the LGBTQ plus world, one that is welcoming and inclusive of gay sex symbols. Lil Nas X, you're this week's sex symbol. And also this weekend, speaking of award shows, you know Hollywood loves to celebrate itself, were the Glaad Media Awards. Gays and lesbians against anti-defamation. We honor that industry. Obviously, we use them all the time for to understand the language that is appropriate for the LGBTQ plus community. But this weekend, members of the LGBTQ plus community flooded the Beverly Hilton Hotel. All kinds of queers and allies were there to celebrate the annual Glaad Media Awards. The ceremony was hosted by royalty, of course. Queens, Bob the Drag Queen, Eureka, and Shangela, and country music superstar. I love this one. We can do LGBTQ plus stories with country music angles. Casey Musgraves was honored with the Vanguard Award for her contribution to the community, and she sang a surprise performance of Rainbow and dedicated it to all of us in the LGBTQ plus community. Congratulations to you, Casey, and thank you for being part of the country music scene, celebrating LGBTQ plus people and all of our allies. And then congratulations. Is that? I hope that's the wedding song. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, no, that might be a circus song. Anyway, congratulations to Javier Silva and Jaime Nazar. The gorgeous same-sex couple were the first ever in history to legally get married in the country of Chile. The typically very conservative South American country has been in a decades-long conflict trying to get LGBTQ plus rights and marriage equality legalized. Well, it finally passed in December, and guess who took advantage of it? Javier and Jaime. And these two really wanted to come together in marriage because they've been together for 7 years. Congratulations. Have 2 children. Bravo. And congratulations to you for finally being able to celebrate your family structure the way you want, just like any other family can in the world. Congratulations, Javier and Jaime. And finally, to wrap up our Rainbow Planet good news of the week, the good gay news. Remember Fezco, the gay dog? This made headlines everywhere. It was out of North Carolina. A couple gave their dog back, or they dropped a dog off at an animal shelter because they said it was gay, because they caught their male dog humping another male dog, right? So guess what, though? Good news is Steve Nichols and John Wynn, a couple of 33 years in North Carolina, adopted Fezco. Yay! So Fezco has a family now. Fezco's not in the shelter. Gay Fezco is now living with John and Steve in a happy, blissful state in North Carolina. And guess what? They renamed him. And guess what they named him? Oscar Wilde. That's right. One of the best poet and literary figures, LGBTQ plus poets and literary figures from history in the 1890s and 1890s, right before the turn of the Gilded Age. My history is failing me, but yeah, he wrote Ernest to Being Earnest and a lot of other very successful and famous plays. So that's Oscar Wilde. That is the gay dog in North Carolina, and that is today's Rainbow Planet.
Woo!
Okay. If you noticed, today I did the Rainbow Planet sort of like a news anchor would. I just flew through the stories. If you're in news, we call those VOs, because I want to be able to, we're going to be putting all of this, we are putting all of this out as a podcast and wherever you get your podcasts. And sometimes people just want the headlines, they're driving quick to work and they just want to know what the headlines are. But now is that part of the show where we do analysis of the headlines. So following a listing of these different big gay things to happen, Mariah and I, and whoever else is in studio with us today, which is no one, we'll discuss those headlines that we just talked about. So Mariah,
Woo.
Yeah, woo indeed, Mariah. Take me back to 4 minutes ago when we started the Rainbow Planet with the story about the mayor of North New York of New York City. He's a new mayor, Eric Adams. He was just elected within months, this is very recent.
I love that he says, "Come here where you can say gay."
Exactly. Come here.
Come to New York. You can say gay here.
Do you think that teachers in Florida are just like, kayak.com. How much are flights to New York City? We gotta
Jobs in New York.
We gotta go where we are accepted and loved. Now, I will say this. So, we took a positive spin on today's headlines, which is great. I don't know if, I get where Mayor Adams is coming from. Hey, if they're not loving you down there in Florida, come here. We love you.
It's like Canada.
Thank you.
When Trump was elected.
Exactly.
They were like, come to Canada. It's okay.
It's so true. It's like, we want to be Canadians now. We don't want to be Americans.
Yeah.
And Floridians. But here's the thing. Part of what's interesting about it is that I think sometimes straight people think there's 4 gay people.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, just move up. There's probably millions of gay people in Florida, if not hundreds of thousands, but probably at least a million. I mean, 1 out of 10 people supposedly is gay, blessed, as we call it.
And who really knows?
Exactly.
The fact of it is, we don't, and how many people out there could be gay that just don't talk about it or that aren't openly out? Who knows?
What I love about what Eric Adams did, the mayor of New York, is that he's bringing attention to this. He's basically saying, and he's not so subtly, poking the bear a little bit, saying Florida sucks. You guys are passing laws that are completely discriminatory, completely offensive. If you don't know about the Don't Say Gay law in Florida, we will be talking about it more here. We have a teacher from Florida lined up in a few weeks to come on and talk to us. But what I really feel about it is there's a little bit of a jeopardy, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't want gays to leave Florida. We want them to strengthen themselves, increase in numbers, go out, tell everybody, hey, this is my name. I'm gay. This is why these laws hurt people like me. Normal humans, everyday humans that just happen to be born a little bit different than the rest of us. Just like left-handed people or red-haired people. Just a little bit different, but still that difference is beloved and beautiful and lovable. They're gay. And so if a kid comes to school who happens to have gay parents, and they're in kindergarten, shouldn't they be able to do a family tree exercise? Shouldn't they be able to say, well, my daddy's daddy was this and my other daddy's daddy was this? They should be able to, or 2 mommies.
I totally remember in kindergarten doing show and tell, family trees. My mom would come in and my mom, when I was little, she always made me fresh apple juice and orange juice with the fruit.
Yes.
So she would come in and show so these kids can't have their parents come in if they're gay? Are they not supposed to? Is that
to me? They can come in, I think, but then the second that one kid says, so why does Johnny have 2 moms?
So the discussion isn't allowed.
Then they're like, I guess and then they're like, we're going to get sued for $10,000. We got to shut up now.
Yeah.
It's insulting. It's so offensive. It is so divisive. It's not even funny, but this is why we're, for New York mayor to say, hey, Floridians, come up here. We don't want people to leave Florida. If anything, we're coming to Florida. I will come help protest. I will knock on doors. I will shake as many hands as you want. Gay people are just like everybody else. Yeah. Just a little portion of the society that happens to be a little different, but completely natural. We're just born this way. So to go out of your ways to make laws that essentially the entire anti-gay, Don't Say Gay law in Florida is really about denying the existence of gay people. That, because the law doesn't ever say gay. To DeSantos' point, the governor of Florida, DeSantos, he was outraged. There doesn't even say gay in the law, right? But since it doesn't, it just says that, you're not going to teach or have instruction on or meaningful discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity between kindergarten and 3rd grade. That's all gender identities. I know I sound like a broken record here at GGT, but it's true.
So true.
That's heterosexuality as well. That means if during the question of, Sally's mom and dad on her kindergarten family tree exercise, if little kid in the class whose parents happen to be same sex says, oh, you have a mommy and a daddy? What does that mean? If that happens to come up, you can't discuss it. Not in Florida, because you don't discuss sexual orientation in Florida, and that includes heterosexuality. Yeah. Newsflash, you do not start out as heterosexual and then become something. Heterosexuality is not the starting point. We are all born with probably no sexuality really, or something that's inherently inside of our genetics that then becomes expressed at some point in life during puberty, or a switch kind of goes on. Talk to the doctors. I don't know how it works, but the
whole thing is just it's so representative of ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you watch the videos
And fear.
of
It's ignorance and fear.
Yeah. Or like if you watch videos of like Florida civilians going into hearings and like speaking about the bill and stuff, it's like everything they're saying, I'm like, but that doesn't make, it just doesn't make any sense because it's not accurate. Everything
Exactly.
they're saying isn't accurate.
This is the entire premise of this law was
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Right.
There was no meaningful educational program trying to teach children about gender or sex between the ages of 5 and 8. Like that wasn't happening.
Right.
It's literally an exercise in bigotry.
Right.
Like they're going out of their way. They're like, there was no purpose for this law. There was no meaningful reason to put it on the books. It's people in Florida who don't have any gay friends or family who are happy to discriminate against a group because what strengthens you but to have a common enemy. Mm-hmm. And so these conservatives can get together and say, oh, all of you heathens, all of you non-Christians, all of you hell-bound gay people are not going to talk to our kids. It's bullshit is what it is. I'm a Christian, a reconstructed Christian. I believe in family. Mm-hmm. I was born this way. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's absolutely no reason in the world why you all should be discriminated against my kind. And for families, like that's the hardest part is that this affects kids, which is...
Yeah. And how, like...
I know we talk about this all the time, but
I
it's
know,
just
but it's hard not
so
to
heartbreaking.
because like, why can't kids like hear about relationships? Like it takes me back to, I think our first episode when Michelle shared that story about how you asked her, I think can I kiss my boyfriend in front of your kids?
Right, exactly.
And it takes me back to that because
Right. I remember because in this journey of us coming to accept ourselves as gay people, I can speak for myself.
Yeah.
You do always want to be sensitive because when a parent decides to teach their child about relationships, is their choice.
Right.
I get that, but the rest of us are living in. We ought to be able to live honestly and real. And I just don't think there's anything that if you can learn about boys and girls and romance, that's the age when you can learn about boys and romance and girls and girls and romance.
So if you're going to say, I don't want you showing any PDA, that should go for
Exactly.
everyone.
Every book that has a heterosexual love story, are you going to...
Yeah.
So that's the point is like you're discriminating against an entire population of people. And we're not a small group. It's millions and millions of people. So that Florida law it's in the annals of history. When we look back, this is going to be looked at and it's going to be thought of as like, can you believe there were people alive in 2022 who were actively discriminating against gay parents?
Like so.
It's so, it's going to come back. And then I know people think like, oh, they know so much about the Bible and about what God says. Like, there's nothing more personal than a person's relationship with their God, with their maker. And that is for them to understand. It isn't for you to teach people and tell them what life they're going to have.
Also, I went to Catholic school, and what I learned is that God is the only one who can judge.
That's exactly right.
So,
And Jesus didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't judge anybody.
But I'm just so right now I'm in a relationship with a man, so I'm not experiencing it right now. But I have in the past experienced where, and every gay person can relate that you want to hold someone's hand. But then it's like not even, you can't control your mind going, okay, who's around me? Like, is this okay to do? And where I am, or like I'm in a bar with a girl and like I want to kiss her, but then I like glance.
Right.
It's like, but it's like not controllable. You're always like checking your surroundings, but like why?
But also, how grateful are we that because of the hard work, dedication, blood, sweat, and tears of the gays that have come before us, the LGBTQ plus and allies that have come before us fighting for our rights, that we're even at a place where I know we're looking around to make sure it's safe, but at least we can do it. Like it's small steps. Right. And for anybody that has gay friends or family, you know this story. You know that it's wrong to use the Bible as a weapon or whatever your moral issue is or whatever thing that you're rooting your defense in that of why you think it's okay to discriminate against gay people, it's wrong. It is wrong. Just like it's wrong to discriminate against women, people of color, people of size, people of different national origins or political feelings or religious beliefs. It is wrong to discriminate against people simply because they are different when there is no victim created. Okay? Another weekend lesson. Okay. Second story.
It's hard not to get into that one.
So we were talking about
got
the Lil Nas. Oh, can we show this sex symbol, please? Okay.
Wow.
We're like, I know this is so wrong. We're like totally objectifying him, but
All out of respect.
Lil Nas X. So I can't imagine what it would be like as like a if we were to put the rewind button on and go back to when I was 15 or 14 and I was watching the Grammys.
Yeah.
And there was literally a male gay sex symbol who me as a little gay kid could be like, ooh, and like throw my panties up at.
Yeah.
You know, like the fact that there's a gay sex symbol right now who is as mainstream as like, you know, Ariana Grande or Lady Gaga is so freaking amazing. And this performance, I mean, even Rolling Stone came out and said Lil Nas X owned the night when it came to performance. It was 3 songs, 3 of his biggest songs, this medley of 3 songs, and he changed his outfit 3 different times. One of those included a lot of abs. There was a lot of sparkles.
He has a phenomenal body.
It was like, oh, I remember that body. Was he like 21? Woo! He's so young. Like
I think he's maybe a little younger than me.
He's in his young 20s.
Yeah.
Everybody has abs in their young 20s.
Not me. I guess I'm in my mid 20s now.
Oh, you're so old,
Gosh,
Mariah.
I'm so
Mariah,
old.
scoot over. Make room for the new generation, the Gen Zs. By the way, doesn't Gen Z sound like a condition? Like,
Gen Z.
I have Gen Z.
I have Gen Z. It does.
Sorry, I love the Gen Zs.
Well, I just found out that apparently I'm old because on TikTok, a 25 is old now.
We can talk all about age. I remember as a boy, I grew up a child of the 80s. And so you had those mirrored closet doors.
Yeah.
These are very classic in like track homes and stuff. So you have your mirrored closet doors. And I used to sit in there like in my underwear, looking at myself at like 12. And I'm like, I'm going to be 25 someday. I'm going to be a man. What am I going to look like when I'm a man? Like I used to have this thought and this conversation
totally.
with myself.
Yeah.
25 is so young.
Yeah.
And you're so lucky.
No, I actually do feel young, but I feel I'm starting to feel like an adult in a really good way.
Good.
Where I'm like, okay, like being an adult is actually cool. I mean, there's a lot of really hard parts about being an adult.
Yes.
And I think 25.
They're only going to get harder, by the way.
Yeah, no,
Enjoy
I was
the
going to
20s.
say like 25. I think 25 hit me hard. Like, oh, this is different than 23. Like, so different.
Really?
Yeah.
You're like, I have to be a little bit more mature now.
It feels, I don't know if I'll ever like feel pressured to feel like that I have to be mature to anyone's degree, but I feel like an adult.
You know the irony of
the
this
first
conversation?
time.
The irony is I feel more allowed to be what I want now.
Yeah.
Like we're going to begin. This is a big show today, by the way, folks.
Yeah.
You got a lot of fun things to look forward to. I hope you can stick with us.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking a lot about the new direction of the show. It's focused on some real passions. Like your age at different times in your life, I think serves you really well. Like as a child, you have this sort of license to be free and have fun. And gosh, if you have kids, please let them play.
Yeah.
Let them play, let them discover, let them be creative. I mean, no one should be stressing as a child.
Yeah.
And then, your teens have their important role. Then you become legal. Everyone's all like, I don't know about you. You're there now. When I was in my young 20s, I was like, whoa, I got to work. I'm worried about what the world thinks.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And it really wasn't authentic. I wasn't myself. That is only just happening now, really.
Yeah, I feel like your 20s, no one tells you this when you're a teenager. Like your 20s are for your discovery.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to, accomplishment and success is depending on how you view it. I don't think there's one way to do that. But I thought in high school that when I get out of college at 22, I'm going to have to get a job and I have to get it right away.
Really?
It's like 23. I mean, I've been doing good. I consider myself successful in what I do, like in my terms of success. But like, you don't have to have it figured out at 25.
No, you don't.
But that's really as a teen. I don't know if you felt that way as a teenager.
Oh.
But you did, right?
Oh.
That's what you said. Yeah.
I mean, I had my finger on the fast forward button my whole life. Like
Yeah.
I was just trying. In fact, we've talked about this. So much of my experience in life has been defined by worrying about the future rather than being in the present.
Right.
I know there's a lot of people out there who can relate to that.
Yeah,
like we
for
have
sure.
a lot of friends and we've been talking. And it's like there's this almost epidemic of people not being in the present, like not enjoying this is it. If you're 20 or 30 and you're building your life up, great. That's all going to come. Do wise things. Like I actually do have pretty strong opinions about certain things. Like we talk a lot about cannabis on the show as a medicine and something that's positive, but I do wonder sometimes if for an undeveloped frontal cortex, like there's an age to do that. Like I think that science tells us a lot about the physiology of our bodies. And I think drugs and alcohol are something that should be understood and educated, but really experimented with and experienced a little bit into your 20s later, once your physical form is more developed, so that you don't accidentally, and this isn't just drugs and alcohol, this is also trans fats, high sugar diets, preservatives. There's a lot of chemical things that prohibit the healthy growth of the human form. Let's let humans grow to be fully full. Yeah. And then just start pumping them full of cannabis.
And
then get creative.
Just go for it.
Depends on what you need. It's your life. It's your journey. No judgments here. Right. And then after the Grammys, we talked about another award show.
Yes.
The Glaad Media Awards. And if anybody is hearing this that doesn't know, Glaad, Glaad, is a really important organization in the LGBTQ plus community. Pretty sure they're based in LA and New York. They have headquarters here and then also satellite places all over. They're just a great resource, as is their website. If you ever want to know, and we've talked about it a lot here on the show, like proper terminology, why certain words are so offensive, historically, and why things become pejorative versus acceptable. Like you can check all that language out there. They also have a ton of other resources. And, we talk about the Trevor Project when we want to encourage people to have a place to go for, mental health concerns or suicide issues. When it comes to issues of the media and how gays and lesbians should be represented, and transgender and all the beautiful shades in between, bisexuals, we should all be represented in the media. Like that is just a fact, because we exist. And because the stories on television and the film and music are telling our stories as the human experience, we are part of that story. Right. And so Glaad, when it started, it's probably been one of the most instrumental organizations in terms of the speed with which the LGBTQ plus community has received civil rights access, and the growth of our civil rights issues has really come quicker because somebody thought, you know what, we need to give all these folks in the media some tools to use on how to talk about the LGBTQ plus community. Right. So go to the Glaad for that. That was a big old explanation of who Glaad is. But annually they do a media awards where they honor people who are using their position in the media to celebrate, honor, promote, and overall just tell the healthy, fun, loving, natural story of LGBTQ plus folks. And this year they honored Casey Musgraves with their Vanguard Award. I have to say, I'm not a country music fan. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Don't send me any emails.
I love Casey.
I mean, her I don't know a ton about her, but she's gorgeous AF, and she is she has this energy of so sweet. Like she's so nice. She just seems super nice.
I remember when
Dolly Parton, like a young Dolly Parton.
Yeah. I'm not super into country at all, but I've listened to all of her songs because they're so good. And when Merry-Go-Round, I think that's what it's called.
Oh yeah.
Came out years and years and years ago. I think that's when everyone was like, "Oh, she isn't like the stereotypical country star," because she was singing about equality, like women's rights, like LGBTQ plus, everything. But I think on the carpet she said, at the Glaad Awards, she said, "I would jump in front of a moving train for the LGBTQ community."
First, please don't. We need you and your platform to keep the good cause going. But that is such a sweet sentiment. She's got someone gay in her life that she loves. You know why much of Hollywood, people always are like, why is Hollywood so progressive and on these issues? First of all, that's fully not true. There's been 3 women who have won Best Director in 94 years at the Oscars. So we're just catching up. But part of the reason is that so many people in the entertainment industry are in the creative arts. Yep. And so much of the creative arts, whether it's hair and makeup, set design, costume design, acting, singing, is permeated by LGBTQ plus people. And so
super diverse.
Exactly. It absolutely can be. And even if it's not, if you're at high school in Southern Texas right now and you're like, we don't have any gay people. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You just don't know it yet. And those kids, that's who I'm talking to right now. We love you.
It really is being in an environment where you're able to talk to all different kinds of people. And how you always say, make a gay friend. Because in the creative industry or in big cities like LA, there's so many different kinds of people that you get to interact with. So, and I think that's why cities are more so like progressive.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
I mean, and not only do I agree, I would like to hire a billboard out that said, if you're not meeting people different than you, you're missing out.
Yeah.
Like, we live in this incredibly diverse country that's oftentimes been described as a mixed salad, a melting pot. Like, I don't actually think it is a melting pot, because that indicates that everyone just blends together and becomes the same thing.
True.
The salad, I like the mixed salad.
Okay.
You got your tomatoes, you got your olives, you got your lettuce. There's mostly lettuce. That's the straights. Average. No offense, straights, but average. And then you have your real flavorful stuff, like the croutons and the onions.
Which one are you?
Exactly. I'd be a black olive, I think. I love black olive. Or,
yum.
maybe a banana pepper.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, something spicy. I just feel like we're not it's not so much about getting together and becoming the same thing, like a melting pot. It's about getting together, getting to be yourself, but mixing well and being delicious combined.
It's just the best when you...
It is.
I love just sitting down and having conversations with people that have completely different experiences and views. It's just so refreshing.
It really is.
And you learn so much. Like, have conversations, meet new people.
Right. It really is. And it is what changes the world.
Yeah.
Like, those personal connections. People ask me all the time, why do you think the LGBTQ plus community and our civil rights movement has happened so fast in comparison to a lot of other civil rights movements? And I think it's genuinely because of honesty. Like, the more gay people that come out and be honest with who they are, with themselves, and then allow the people around them to love them as for who they are, the harder it is for people to discriminate against us.
Right.
Like, how can you know JD and Mariah, people that you care for, hardworking, tax-paying Americans, patriotic, loving, and not think, oh, when you fall in love with someone, you can't marry that person. Sorry, you have to pretend to be something you're totally not in order to have the laws of this land support you. That's baloney. And the more beautiful gay people the harder it is to discriminate against them. And that is why because I think that, like Will and Grace, so many of the things in media, Glaad, for example, all of the work that people have been doing has really just been getting us all to a place where people can be honest. And if you're honest with who you are, with the people you love, enough people, so if you think, even if it's 1 out of 10, eventually everyone's covered, you all know. But people are actively, haters, and it is hate. Make no mistake, DeSantos, the law that you signed into law in Florida is hate. It hates the existence of gay people. That is what that law is about. For you haters that don't have any gay friends or family or people you want to support, you're missing out.
Yeah.
Like, you really
Watch our
are.
show. Get to know us.
And if you think you're being supported by the Bible or by your religious beliefs, you are not. You're going to have a really sketchy conversation with St. Peter at the pearly gates,
like,
when he comes up and he says, "Why did you choose actively to discriminate against this entire group of people?" "Oh, well, the Bible says that that two men lying together is an abomination." I'm like, really? Because did you dig into the historical understanding of that context? Did you know that there was no word for homosexual in ancient Hebrew? Did you know that those stories were really about pedophilia and rape and sodomy? The winning factions of warring tribes during biblical times would, for punishment, rape the men of losing tribes. That is not love. That is not what we are about, and it's understandably a sin.
Yeah.
So to continue to use those verses to defend your hate of people who are different, but those people who are different create no victims with their action, you're the wrong person. You are in the wrong. So
Jesus would be marching with us.
That is, I say it all the time.
He also was a person of color. He was a person of color.
That's
he would be supporting Black Lives Matter.
And you saw those abs. That's pretty good. Never married.
Jesus was gay.
People will be so offended. Jesus Christ was not a homosexual. And
why do people get offended
I'm a homosexual.
at
I'm
the
gay.
state of that, though? Like, oh, I feel like Jesus was gay. Like, why are you offended?
Exactly.
Who cares? Straight, gay, bi. I'm sure he was like pan.
Honestly, the message of Christ would be pansexual, right?
Like,
he loves everybody.
Loves all.
Exactly.
Maybe, but more likely asexual.
Probably,
maybe, but like the fact when people get so offended, even in like making a comment of, oh, Phoebe Buffay should have been like a gay character in Friends, and like, why would you say, like, why do people get offended at just saying something like that? That's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Right.
You can't say anything without people getting upset over that.
What was her name? The Fox News correspondent. She's a host. She just came unglued when someone suggested that Santa Claus might be black.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, Megyn Kelly.
Yeah.
Megyn Kelly. I'm sure you've grown. I'm sure you have. You happened to see this? If someone forwards this to you, please reach out.
Come on our
Santa
show.
Claus is a fictional character. So whether Santa's white or black is totally in the minds of the reader. Like, we don't have to define that. But the fact that she was so angry about it, she's like, Santa Claus is black. It's not black. It's like, it's so racist.
It's so racist.
It just shows her for the racist, tendencies that are under the skin.
That's what it is.
No offense. Listen, we're all growing. Like, I don't want any. I love. She's probably done some wonderful things as well, like, I'm sure. And I love Charlize Theron, who played her in that movie Bombshell. So gotta have respect it a little bit. But I do think that we're here to offer counter programming to the nonsense that LGBTQ plus is somehow a sin. It is not. There is no sin here. Okay? We're just loving ourselves completely for who we are, who we were born to be, the same way that left-handed people and red-headed people should get to love themselves too. All right, let's move on. After the Grammys and the awards show weekend, I know, right? Get off my perch. I am preaching today. These are two fun stories. Oh, first of all, Javier and Jaime, can we just show how cute this couple is?
I mean,
all right, so no offense. No offense. I'm like bubbling with jealousy. I'm like, where's my baby and my husband of 7 years? So this is the Chilean couple that
I'm getting emotional.
I know. If you're not listening on the podcast and you've gone to YouTube or Twitch and you're either watching us record this right now as a live stream or you come back and watch it on demand, you'll see a photo of Javier Silva and Jaime Nazar holding their infant baby. These gorgeous Latino Chilean men. By the way, shout out to Michelle Arrego, my local Chilean American goddess.
Hey.
My co-host from Friends of and Then Some. Michelle's Chilean. She would be 100% in support of this. She's our very first video that said, "Can I kiss my gay boyfriend in front of your kids?" Those are Michelle's kids. So we know Chilean Americans. We know Chileans in large part have been fighting this good fight for decades. But you know, the deeper the Catholic roots go into, especially South American countries, you know, the harder it is for some people to make that move to realize, oh my God, there was a misunderstanding here. This isn't about homosexuality. This is about other stuff. Like, it's hard, and understandably hard, but this is a celebration moment because after decades of fighting for gay marriage in Chile, it was passed into law.
And how can you not look at that photo and just think,
I know.
Like, and
there's love.
Even this,
Show
just
this.
like everyone celebrating together.
Oh.
I just don't understand how your first reaction could be to judge or to hate. My first reaction is like an overwhelming amount of emotion and happiness, seeing two people literally just loving each other and loving their children together.
God, we're gonna bring so many great guests on this show, including couples like this, including parents of gay kids who realized, oh my gosh, if I just love my gay kids and let them be themselves, they're going to have such a great life.
Yeah.
They can they can be completely self-actualized, be mentally healthy, have wonderful relationships, have meaningful partnerships, have a family, have children. There's nothing that gay couples can't do that straight couples do. And the notion that one is somehow superior over the other or is deserving of more rights than the other is ridiculous. It's wrong. It's hateful. And if you're on that side of things, come on over. Drop a comment. I will take my time with you. Like, I think one of the things that people don't always get is like, I'm a Christian. Like, I love Jesus. I was raised in the church. Shout out to Jesus. Shout out to mom who loves her Jesus too.
And it can look differently for everyone. And I think that's what's so great.
That is my personal path. Like, I always feel like I interviewed John Green once when I was, from Fault in the Stars, the author. He and his brother have been doing a video blog, a vlog for years,
Hank
back and forth.
John.
Exactly. Speaking of vlogs, we'll come up to that in a second. We're going to be launching something here. But, he really is, he said something once during an interview with me that just sat with me. I was like, God, that's so true. He's Episcopalian, I think, or Protestant, something like that. And because of the nature of Fault in Their Stars and it's sort of some of the religious undertones, I was talking to him a little bit about religion, and I asked him about his faith and how he identifies. And he said, I am Christian, and but I feel that is the path that I have found to enlightenment. and I believe there's many paths. And I agree with that.
I like that.
I
There's
don't-
many paths.
Yeah, I don't think that missionaries should be trying to force Buddhists into becoming Christians
Right.
or Muslims or Jews or Hindus or any of the other beautiful faiths, even Scientologists. Like there's people ought to have the right to find the faith that works for them and gets them, because the relationship we have with our Maker is so personal. How
Yeah.
are you to tell me what that relationship is supposed to be or
Right.
what it is or what we feel?
As long as it's safe
Exactly. And not causing
and
any-
not causing harm or
Exactly.
spreading hate or judgment.
So
What? Yeah.
clearly we're building up to a whole religious episode here at Gals, Gays, and Days. And I go to New Abbey in Pasadena.
Yeah.
It's a gay celebrating church, but it's not a gay church. It's not just gay people. It's mostly not. But they happen to believe in Reconstruction, that to take what we know. It's like people that believe that the founding fathers wrote the Constitution of the United States and it created a document that should sit in stone and be read
Yeah.
literally.
That is so.
It's stupid.
Wild.
I'm sorry. Those same founding fathers considered black people 3/5 a human.
Yeah.
So no, they fucked up too. Sorry.
And
Sorry.
also believe the thoughts that they had about women. I don't even want to
Exactly.
get into because
And also, we're all like, they say that the Bible's the word of God, but it was written by humans who are fallible, and was only men could write back then?
Right.
Like, was that the way it was? Like, there was no, like, if we just think, and Catholics also, sorry, I hate to pick out on a whole thing, and this is your faith, but if a Catholic father and mother look at their son and daughter and they say, we love you, we love our faith, and those kids are destined to be the Pope, but only one can be because of the genitalia they were born with. That's stupid.
I need a son to carry on my family's
Exactly.
line.
It's so antiquated and it's so like
Do you watch Bridgerton?
wrong. Oh, I tore through that second season.
Wait, I'm
like
not done with the second season
It was
yet.
my job. Let me tell you what happens exactly at
No.
the end.
I just started season 2, but I actually am late to the game. I watched season 1 like recent. So I just watched it. But it had me thinking of like the Duke's father and how like
Yep.
there's literally, and this was reality for so many people, like having a son was the most important thing, and then you just have women
You didn't
have
even want
daughters
you
and
didn't
just
even
marry
want
them
a
off.
daughter as your second born back
Yeah.
then. You wanted a second son so that if your first son died, you'd
Right.
still have an heir.
You want as many sons as you can have,
Right.
because then your family name is gonna
right. Oh, because
strong.
men, it's a man's world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a patriarchal society.
Then you have daughters, and it's like, you have to get them married, and you have to have dowries for them, and pay men. You have to pay
This is
men
the money.
to
This
take
is
them away.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if like Serge was gonna get a bunch of cash
Oh my
from Maria
God.
to marry you?
See, I wouldn't last a day in that,
That is-
time. I always like watching Bridgerton. I'm like, oh, because it's so romanticized.
I
But when
know.
you actually think about it, like, oh my God, I would not last a day.
You know what it is though that's fun about it?
I'd be a
is
witch and-
There's so much
yeah.
like sexual tension and repression.
Yeah,
like there's
that's
a
true.
fun, there's
That's why it's
yeah.
so sexy though. It's like
all my-
you literally like have never seen the skin of another man or woman, and so seeing it is so arousing. It's like
Let me see. You're in episode what of season 2?
3.
Okay, so you've at least, because there's only 10 episodes, so you've seen the connection that's happening between
Anthony.
Yes.
And what's her name? Not Edwina. That's
Yeah.
the younger sister, but the older sister.
yeah, Edwina's, what is her? Okay, so these
Shawarma?
beautiful indie.
Shawarmas.
Oh my gosh, her first name is eluding me.
But
But the point is,
Yeah.
you see like the relationships that they're having, and like, oh my God, sex is so off the table. I mean,
Yeah.
no one would dare. You would ruin a woman.
Yeah.
Like, just think about that language. Meanwhile,
Even just kissing them.
all the men are off
Oh God.
having sex with whores, having sex with sluts because they didn't all charge, I'm sure.
My heart is still with the opera singer because I loved her.
Ah,
I
from
loved
season
her
1?
from season 1.
Yeah.
And I am, because
Yeah,
I'm like, women
exactly.
like that don't get the story. Like,
Well, what did Rachel
She's
say
not
last
a
time she was
lady.
here? Well-behaved women
Oh, yeah.
rarely make history.
yeah.
It's
I
true.
love Santa. She
It's
deserved
true.
better.
Listen, there's a lot of different ways to experience your existence here on planet Earth. If you happen to believe that, like, you know, I support women who want to be more traditional.
Mm-hmm.
I support that. Like, I support men who want to be stay-at-home
Right.
dads.
If that's what you want to do.
Exactly. But what I don't support is you saying that is the way everybody should be and that everybody should fall in line.
Yeah.
And if they don't, we're going to pass laws and hurt them and hate them if they don't. That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's where it stops because no one's hurting anybody. Like if two men want to raise a baby, if two women want to raise a baby, they're going to raise that baby with love. If one of them works, one of them stays home, who cares?
If a woman doesn't want to get married and have kids,
who cares? How do
let
you know
her
that
live
these
her
hands,
life.
these male hands can change a diaper?
Men are capable. You know
Yeah.
what? Oh, another big pet peeve of mine that no one ever talks about,
Hmm.
and it really, really bothers me, is that in public places with gendered restrooms, the only baby stations are in women's bathrooms. There are no changing stations in men's bathrooms, and I always think
That's
single
not totally
dads-
true. There are now. I have seen
Now?
a few.
Okay, well
yes.
that's changing, but
they're-
it didn't used to be.
Exactly.
It would and then I would bring it up, and people would be like, "Well, why would a man?" I'm like,
I know.
"What?"
People think like this still to this day.
A man can't take
like
because like, oh my god, a man would
this
never
is
take his
woman's
baby
work.
in and
This
change
is
the
man's
diaper.
work. I have to say, even with the sadness and everything that's going on in Ukraine,
Mm-hmm.
like as a true progressive, I do believe that there's a misnomer in stating like men are all staying behind, women and children,
Agreed.
because there's 15% of the Ukrainian military are women.
Yeah.
You don't do any. You're disservicing young Ukrainian women who might want to serve
Mm-hmm.
their country in that way. Like we have got to get out of our way when it comes to penises and vaginas.
Yeah,
We
for real.
really do. We have to just stop thinking about people in terms of their sex, in terms of their gender, and start thinking of them in terms of who they are, who their soul
Yeah.
is, and what they can do. That's the whole goal here at GGT, is to really reappreciate people for who they are and what they
Yes.
can bring to the world, and aside from their gender identity or anything else. That's so 1980.
Well, tell me this.
Yes.
In season 2 of Bridgerton, is there going to be more gay people or stories? Because I'm really
I
there isn't.
know
Okay.
it's
I kinda-
significantly lacking on the, and honestly, like we just plowed through the Gilded Age, right, on HBO
Yeah.
Max, and then now Bridgerton 2 on Netflix. Like
We're obsessed with period pieces.
I love it. It's the repression,
Yeah.
and the fashion. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I was Oscar Wilde, I'm sure, in a previous life.
Yeah.
But the thing about that era is that they just only told one story. And so if the art, but what I don't get about Bridgerton is clearly this is fiction.
Right.
They are creating people of color to be the queen, and like that wasn't reality. But
I
that's
was gonna say they're not following any specific.
So why aren't there more gay characters in Bridgerton?
Because they created a universe. It's like Shondaland is its own universe. The Bridgerton universe, for example.
You know what I
where
wonder?
Colors doesn't matter.
And Shonda Rhimes has absolutely been at the forefront of gay storytelling.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Grey's Anatomy, you remember what happened, what went down with Isaiah Washington when he came out at that one award show and he's like,
yeah.
I did not call so-and-so an F word. I mean, bad moment in your life, Isaiah.
Yeah.
Although I'm
But
sure
Grey's
you
Anatomy
dealt
had
with it.
two like main
Exactly.
characters.
No,
that
that's
were
what I
together.
mean. Like
Yeah,
there
you're
was a
right.
lot
You're
of
right.
storylines on Grey's
Not
Anatomy.
necessarily in
that-
the beginning, though.
Exactly. Maybe that's
It was later.
But I just mean like if Shonda is the, executive in charge and these are the stories of like why in a modern imagination
Yeah.
of the Gilded Age, why aren't there more gay characters?
I was really hoping Eloise was gonna come out.
Maybe it's still
But-
oh no, because now she likes the boy.
I was- No. It's already happened because
okay, good. You saw her.
she I don't remember what his name is. I don't think I've really met the character, but like she had a moment with him where she was like obviously into him, and I was
Okay,
like,
so
oh,
I
I
think
thought
that
she was
just
gonna
happened.
be. It
The
just
printer.
happened.
He's the printer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. It
Yes.
just happened, and it was like super. The moment was like, oh, I was like, okay, something's gonna happen there, and I was a little sad because I
It's
thought
so
maybe she was
true.
gonna be the gay character, but
Also, poor little rich girl. Like this,
Right.
all these stories that we're watching, it was so focused on like the wealthiest people of those times.
that's very true.
Like I think it's
it's the
worth
ladies and the lords.
why Les Mis, like why so many other
Mm.
stories that are more fully inclusive of different people of different classes are so interesting, is because sometimes that clash between the classes. In fact, I have an entire children's Christmas project all about this.
Yeah.
The clash between the classes is where you get that intrigue. Like it's
True.
where, and you haven't seen it yet, but I'm not going to give anything away.
Okay.
But there's a moment that's coming up later where they have a big conversation about the difference between being Mayfair. I guess that was a phrase they used
Okay.
to call the rich people.
Okay.
Versus like the everyday people. Like
A commoner.
Yeah, exactly. So, in addition, like if we can't have any gay characters, at least let's get some
I know there was
poor
like,
people and rich people hooking
what
up.
1-2 second scene in season 1 where one of the Bridgerton boys saw two men making out, and it was literally 2 seconds. And like, that's the only gay scene I've seen so far, I think.
You know what's
I
interesting?
might be mistaken. There's like a sex party.
So no, this is definitely not like we didn't plan this at all, but I will say that I know there's a lot of challenge in the African American community with gay people a lot of times. Like, you would think that because we're two disenfranchised groups, two marginalized groups that both understand what it feels like to be cast out and shunned and not given equal rights, that there would be like a common bond there. And oftentimes there is. And I mean, I know the LGBTQ plus community comes out strong in favor of BLM and vice versa. But there is the whole there is the difficulty in that world, in like, to be a gay black man these days oftentimes I think is really, they call it the DL, like, because you're on the down low, because the culture just is so unaccepting of it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it, like, I'm not going to speak for anybody, just from what I've had conversations with people about and what they've said to me, is like, being black, a young black man or woman, is hard enough. And so it's, again, following that we've talked about before, where parents are like, I just don't want you to be gay because it's going to be hard. It's like similar to that, like, you're black, you're going to be gay, oh my God. So I think a lot of it's fear. I really do.
It's 100% fear. Yeah, of course. I mean, if Quincy was here right now, he's a beautiful example of a friend and a regular here on GGT who's both black and gay, and he would probably tell you, like, that's what's going on. It's fear. Everybody thinks, well, not everybody, but there's so much fear around, like, something happening to a child in particular to make them gay, or that's gonna persuade them. That's not how sexual. If you're thinking that, please ask yourself this question: when did you decide to be straight? When did you go, oh, I could easily be a homosexual, but I'm going to be heterosexual? If you never had that moment with yourself, why do you think gay people do? Why do you think that we wake up someday and like, oh, I'm definitely heterosexual, but I want to be gay. I want to, like, make everything harder and march in parades and love rainbows. Like, no, it's just is. And now everything else shuffles around. I know we're a broken record here, but okay. So, you know what? Congratulations to the gay couple who rescued the gay dog in North Carolina. And I'm so glad Fesco is now really Oscar Wilde. Let's show Oscar Wilde. There he is. If you are listening on the podcast and want to see these beautiful men, and that's Steve and John and Oscar Wilde. Congratulations. Thank you for giving this beautiful, looks like maybe a St. Bernard. No, not a St. Bernard, German Shepherd.
Yeah, mix probably.
Yeah, mix. German Shepherd mix, a home. And to the couple out there that left this little dog at the shelter because he was humping another boy dog.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your heart is where it is and that your mind hasn't been opened up to realize that there was absolutely nothing wrong with that. And there's plenty of homosexual. I know Glaad gets mad when I say homosexual. It's pejorative, I guess, but there's plenty of same-sex love even in the animal kingdom.
Oh yeah.
Probably thousands of examples.
Yeah.
Most recently, I was just hearing about these frogs that are full-on orgy. They're like foam frogs. There's one girl and like 20 boys. Orgy.
Great. Love to hear that.
Animal kingdom orgy.
Animal kingdom orgy.
We're sex positive here. Like,
it's just to think that a dog even know, like, hello, dogs have instincts when they aren't neutered or spayed, and they hump everything. I mean, I've had a million dogs try to hump my leg.
Male dogs.
Doesn't mean that they
not that dissimilar from male humans.
Right.
They will hump it if it feels good. There is not a lot. Like,
has nothing to do with sexual orientation.
Jason Biggs made a whole movie about the things that human men will hump in order to. That's an American Pie reference. If you didn't understand that, I think we made it through all 5 stories. Our little recap. That is our analysis of today's 5 stories from the Rainbow Planet. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that if you did like it, that you continue to follow, like, and subscribe to everything that we're doing. We do this podcast live streamed on YouTube and Twitch TV, and then it's available anywhere your podcasts are found. And that's our show. Here's another. Oh wait, we're going to talk a little bit about this because I'm trying to give you an out for the podcast later.
Okay.
That's where we would stop it for that podcast. Okay, but here on GGT, we are honoring some of our great trans heroes of the day with our mindful moments. Our mindful moments is a moment where we throw a quote up and some music. It also gives us a break and a chance to go pee. And while you read this and take it all in, we're going to come back and talk about it in a second. And here's today's first mindful moment. Welcome back to Gals, Gays, and Days. I'm your host, JD Cargill. If you're looking for a place to feel warm, welcome, and like you belong, you found it. Woo! Joining me is Mariah. Her camera's not working today, but usually you can see her gorgeous face over there in engineering.
And I'm just like thriving.
I know. You're like, you're so participating today. I'm starting to think maybe this camera broke for a reason. Maybe we just like let you get because not everybody's as comfortable on camera as us hams. We hams, us hams. Sorry, Mrs. Reeb. Every time I think about my English teacher, like, am I saying this right? So we have some big updates here. Yeah. So we've always said this from the very beginning. Gals, Gays, and Days, this show that we're doing, this live stream, podcast, Twitch, TV, YouTube, enterprise, it's always been meant to be a... at least in the beginning right now, an effort in exploration, experimentation, and discovery. Mm-hmm. Like, we are not giving ourselves hard, fast rules about what it is and what it's going to be. In the very first days back in February, we talked about several segments we were doing. Father School, as I was going to bring on guests from the world of adoption and surrogacy on my path to becoming potentially a single gay dad or married gay dad. We'll see how that goes. Call me George. And then, she's a total B, our segment with Mariah and talking about bisexuality and on that sort of, and we're going to do that. Taboo, our segments. But something that has emerged is really, in order to get 6 hours of content going a week here, it really needs to be a work in passion. Mm-hmm. And what is it that is going to drive us? What makes us want to work on the weekends? Well, I will tell you. This weekend, I was working all weekend on one thing, and one thing only. My eyebrows. Oh my God, no, don't show. Okay, if you're watching the podcast, this is this is a little if you're watching
I love this photo. I think it's such a good one.
So here was my concept. So if you're looking at screen right now, you are seeing JD in drag as a judge. Black wig, judge's robe. Judge Judy meets like a sexy squirrel. I'm in black pantyhose. Like, basically the point is drag, right? Drag. Why? What is it? What is going on? Anybody who knows me, I'm 45 years old. This is not the story you hear all the time of someone popping out of the womb being like, I want to be a drag queen, or, God bless Aquaria and Crystal Versace and all the young drag queens that knew, like, this is what I want to do, and grew up in a time when RuPaul was kind of making it an okay thing to do. We didn't all grow up that way.
Right.
Some of us had to find the art form later. And I do very much think of it as an art form. Like, there is an expression. There's something happening within me in this world of drag performance that is really, I got to talk about it. That's what this next segment is about. I want to talk about my evolution into becoming a performance artist, what we have planned coming up, because the journalist in me is never going to go away. I like media. I like the chance to tell stories. I love storytelling. I love this. But I'm also really into dressing up like a woman. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Oh, the applause. We worry. I don't know if our sound effects are going out to the world, but if they are, you're hearing applause. Basically, I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on with me because it deserves a moment. Like, I think it deserves, like, we're going to see some changes here at GGT, especially in terms of the Tuesday versus Friday show, which we'll talk about here in a second. But I want to explain why it's happening. So I have 3 theories as to why I am really loving drag. But before I get into those, I want to start off by showing a little clip of what if you missed Friday's show. Friday was April 1st, April Fool's Day. We had a little bit of fun. And you saw Anita Doll Darling was introduced. Anita Doll Darling is my drag persona. She filled in for me last Friday. It was April Fool's Day. We did like about an hour and a half of her in character, which was really hard for me, by the way, because being in character and thinking of all these production elements and all the story points, like, it's tough. But then when we switched and I was myself as her, it was great. But the reason we did everything in drag on Friday, the reason I'm introducing Anita Doll Darling as a character is because the segment, How to Build a Queen, has grown into something more. And we are now developing a drag character named Anita Doll Darling. And we are doing everything for her that we would do for any star on the rise, giving her a show, a platform, photo ops, branding and marketing tools. She is a pistol. We're learning her personality. So literally yesterday, Rachel, shout out to Rachel Anderson, our in-house hair and makeup artist, and she really is an artist here. She and I on Friday had so much fun creating Anita Doll. I mean, I think I was initially just going to do like, because, you know, we did a lesson in eyelashes before for the segment,
Right.
How to Build a Queen. So I thought maybe we would do a wig segment or something, but we just went for it. And we completely created this drag character. And every time I do it, it just sort of like this is an art form. And it's hard to explain because I'm not somebody who wants to dress in women's clothing on the daily.
Right.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
They say if you're not in pain, you're not in drag. And that's probably true for women too.
Yeah.
If you're not, like, ask any woman, if you're red carpet ready, are you in pain? And she will likely say, oh, hell yeah. Everything hurts. I'm cinched. My feet hurt. It's tight. There's body shape. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on to make you beautiful. True for drag queens as well. And so I wanted to tell my drag story a little bit, the journey that I've been on. Because I'm having a lot of fun with it and it's not going away. And we're actually going to double down on it and lean in. And so, but first I want to start with this clip of me. What's the first one we have, Mariah?
You surprising me.
Yeah. Okay. So the
Anita Doll.
This was the thing that finally made me realize this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So, the concept on Friday for, April Fool's Day was that I was going to trick Mariah into thinking me, JD, boy, that's why I'm wearing a tie, is not available to host the show, but I've got a fill-in replacement. And this is how that went. Mariah?
Yeah?
I'm not feeling as good as I thought I was about this. I don't think I'm going to be able to do the show. But I'm going to have a fill-in host. Is that okay?
Is it someone that I think maybe?
I'm Anita.
Oh,
Anita Doll. Is this the studio where I go? Is this the right place?
you look so good. Oh my god.
Oh, this does look like the right place. I believe it's here. Yeah, so do I have to sit on a stool or something? JD said that I could fill in for him and that I would come naturally to me. Hello, darling. Mwah, mwah. Air kisses, air kisses. So, do love your little place here. It's delightful. So, if you are watching the video, you're seeing Anita Doll Darling making her way down in a very cute little aspen ski outfit, hot pink leopard print, full body catsuit with hood, stilettos, and pink hair down to her hips. Boobs for days, hips for days.
Just like freaking out.
I have so many things to like show you everybody today in terms of revealing how this went down. But I want to explain that. I love it. I love your reaction.
I was like, I could not. I just.
You were like, you're so beautiful. It was so sweet, Mariah. Like, you give me so much confidence.
Well, good. I mean,
I really appreciate it.
I mean, you walked down and I was like, is this RuPaul? Like, what's going on? Like,
So-
Rachel really killed it.
She did.
She really did. The makeup was so good.
She's a
and, like,
gifted artist, and she
eyeliner?
Oh, I had so much fun actually, by the way, on that same show, going through her social media
and
and
looking
looking at
at-
all of her like
yeah.
31 Days of Halloween. Yeah, the eyeliner, the mascara, there was a lot that went into that look. And actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about it here in a second. There's some items, right? But before I do, I want to talk a little bit about the journey that I've been on and explain to people. I'm mostly like talking to my friends and family who are like, what's going on with you in drag? And that way, this is a one-stop shopping. I don't have to explain it to 1,000 people. I can just say, go watch that show on April 5th. That was the show that I talked about my journey. So, let's go back in history. Oh, are you going to show this photo first?
Sure.
So show that photo. This is the moment. This is me as Anita doll darling on my sofa in the living room, hands extended over air, hips for days, boobs for days, stilettos, hands overhead in the, what we call it, capital T. I started a capital T. I ended a lower S. Capital T moment where your hands are extended over your head, and it's a proud, powerful moment. We created this character, and she's sort of taking over. We are going to explore her more on our Friday and Tuesday shows. On Tuesdays, we're going to talk like we are right now about what happened on Friday, and then also sort of plan ahead. When Rachel's available, we will plan ahead for our next version of Anita doll. The reason that drag queens are so compelling to me is because of the creativity behind it.
Yeah.
Because when you sometimes when I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race, and I'm like, where did they come up with the idea?
my God.
Like, some of my favorite drag queens have come out in dresses that have like horses' butts behind them, or 3 different reveals where you come out in one look, and by the time you're walking away, you're in a completely different look. I mean, that's just creative.
Yeah.
It's just artistic and beautiful and creative. And if you like the fine arts, if you like any of the arts, painting, sculpting, anything, you got to kind of love drag, because it's just an exercise in creativity. And I have not been a person in my life who's ever considered myself an artist. I've always thought of myself as a journalist. I thought of myself as a smart guy. My mom and dad really wanted, I think when you grow up in a small town and you get good grades and there's not a lot of exposure to what the world has to offer, the ideas about what your future could be are very limited. Like, and I was really like, you're going to be a doctor. Like, it was doctor, lawyer, teacher, professor. Like, that was it, judge.
Right.
There's no, drag queen was not on the menu when I was 17 going to college. If it had been, I would have majored in it. Probably not at the time, because I have 3 theories that we're going to get to for a second about why my drag persona is emerging as something that I really want to pursue. But before I get into that, I want to talk about my history. So in 2018, there is a, I can tell, I know we're live, but I see a guest. Oh, there she is. Angelica, do you want to be on?
Sure.
All right, join us here. I don't know if our camera's set up over there, but I'm just going to I'll go with my explanation here for a few minutes. So in 2018, I was kind of introduced for the first time to drag performance, so the art form of drag. And the reason was because my best friend Mindy, who we talked about earlier in the show, and my other best friend Michelle, we were part of something together. It was Mindy's 50th birthday, and her beautiful husband Glenn, who likes to go big on things, for 300 people at at Disneyland's Convention Center Hotel entertainment area, like I guess it's a rentable big room. We performed something that was completely dedicated to her whole life. It was called Minderella in Oz. It was, you've heard of the Wizard of Oz. So it was our friend Mindy's life retold through the lens and the vision of the Wizard of Oz, but with the help of the entire Orange County School of Performing Arts. It was a really like special night. It was particularly important to me because it let me stick my toe into a world that I'd never had before. This was the first time that I ever performed in drag, and it was for a play, so it was a very safe way to enter the scene, and it was a little spoiled. And I know Michelle, who was also in drag that night, she was Elphaba, the bad witch, the wicked witch, the green witch, and I was Glinda, the good witch, the pink witch, right? Travel by Bubble. And Glenn, who is Mindy's husband, was really splurging, and he brought out like hair and makeup folks from Broadway who do Lion King. I had like a whole costuming team. Like, I was really treated in this sort of very special way. So my entree into the drag world, if you will, was pretty smooth. Like, it was like about as good as it can be.
That was your first time?
That was. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Angelica to the show.
Hi, everybody.
I am going to have to pivot one of these lights around on you
Okay.
since you're pretty dark over there. I'm glad that you showed up. This is perfect timing, because we are going into a segment of the show where I'm explaining my history with drag and what's coming up next.
Got it.
And it's pretty exciting.
Awesome.
So we're in the history part. So in 2018, just 4 years ago, I performed as Glinda the Good Witch. We have an asset, and there I am. She was big, bold, beautiful, had an umpire waist pink gown with a hoop. What's that called? Like a hoop that goes underneath of it. And my crown and scepter and satin gloves. And it was a pretty special night. Like Michelle and I wanted to honor our bestie Mindy and do something that she would never forget. And I will tell you, we rehearsed for weeks with this entire high school of like 40 performers.
Oh my God, really?
They put together this incredible show that included music. It was a musical. I mean, the singers, the performers, the high school kids from the Orange County School of Performing Arts were so talented.
Amazing.
And Michelle and I were like, oh, are we going to keep up? But we had fun. Ultimately, when I first came out, there's Mindy and I. That's at the end of the play when I'm like bringing her on stage to hide the moment when Glenn's running up to go in the umbrella, hot air balloon. So, but this night, the photos that we're seeing, if you're not listening in the podcast and you're watching on YouTube or Twitch TV, you could see this photo of me in this big pink gown coming down after this performance, being greeted by these 300 people, many of whom I had known for years, not know it was me. Then the moment I stepped out on stage, I hadn't spoken yet. The song is playing, I'm coming out, this Diana Ross song. It was my entry song. You don't hear anything. And then I go, I think my first line was, I've always enjoyed it. And the second my mouth opens, I hear Mindy and go, ah! Like she didn't know it was me. She screamed. I love that. That's one of these moments in my life that I'll never forget. I have a similar moment that we're going to show in a second. But the reason that moment was so special was because after that performance, I came down and I wasn't judged. I wasn't harassed. No one pushed back against it. It was just nothing but appreciation.
That's beautiful.
It's like this is an art form. You know, it would have been no different if I was dancing from a silk or on stilts or doing some other breathing fire. You know, it was my art form. And people appreciated it. They wanted to take their picture with me. And that night, a seed was planted deep inside of me. And mind you, this is 2018. Mm-hmm. And so this is how long it takes for you to get out of the way of yourself. That's all I'll say.
But look at how beautiful that first moment was. It was so warm and it opened the door. And
it
brought so much joy.
And it honestly, I don't think if it was for that moment, I never would have known what's possible with drag. So I don't know that I ever would have gotten into it. So so this journey through drag, my history with drag started in 2018 at my best friend's 50th birthday as a performance. I fell in love that night, and then that really kind of just didn't do anything. I was busy building a company, doing all kinds of stuff, still working back in the day as an entertainment reporter and for ArcLight. And flash forward to 2021, and Mindy and Glenn, now that the pandemic has sort of giving us a little break, a little breathing room, are going to host a holiday party, which they do all the time. And they bought a new house down in Orange County, and they wanted to celebrate that. And so who loves a theme party more than Mindy? So what's the theme? The Great Gatsby theme, which is the Roaring 20s. We're in the new Roaring 20s. It was an epic party, you guys. Like, I mean, so much fun. So Michelle, and there we are. Michelle and I decided, why not bring back the Good and Bad Witch from our first experience in drag from 2018, but reimagined as Great Gatsby girls, you know? So now I do drag a second time. Michelle, women can do drag too. People don't always realize this. Drag is just a hyper feminized way of dressing. Like it mostly men do drag. Women can do drag as drag kings and become men. Right. Or they can become even more fabulously dressed women over the top. You know what a drag Angelica would look like.
I'd like to see that.
I would too, actually.
Well, Lady Gaga did Drag King at one of the award shows.
She did a whole that was a whole little chapter for her. Mm-hmm. And so because we brought these characters back, we had another chance I got another chance to taste drag again. And this time we recorded the moment when Mindy reacts. And we have that video here.
I hear Mariah
Can you
giggling.
play it? All right, here we go. You cut it right when we walked in. That's perfect. So you hear Mindy wailing right now. People at home can hear this,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
The whale.
The whale. Oh my God. And then Michelle says, "We got you, bitch."
I love that it was a surprise again. That's so fun.
It was another
That's
fun
fun.
surprise for Mindy. So that was the second time I ever did drag, and I did it. What I consider to be like the like the man of a certain age with resources does drag. That's when you don't have to do your own makeup.
Look at that terrain.
You don't- yes.
flow.
That's the flow. I actually have that dress. I pulled it down here in the
yeah.
studio today. It's not a dress. That's actually, you know what this is?
Is it like a nightgown kind of thing?
It is.
Okay,
It's
okay.
meant to be this like so there's a trend of pregnant women taking glamorous photos with their belly
Right,
hanging
right.
out.
Yeah.
And so
That's
this is
what
called
this
a
is-
pregnancy gown.
No
Oh,
way.
really?
Yes. But it also worked as the perfect overcoat with the flow and everything. And I got the dusty pink, and Michelle got the emerald green to go with her character Elphaba. And so we entered this party like in full drag, and I proceeded to have another amazing night in drag. I mean, my feet were bleeding in places I didn't know they could bleed by the end of the night. And at least 2 women came up to me and said, "You're a woman now," when they saw my bleeding feet, which is really cute. Here's me. There's one of the Orange County Housewives, right?
Yeah,
Heather
Heather
Dubrow,
Dubrow.
one of our favorite guests from Friends and Then Some. She was a guest at
She's so
Mindy
great.
and Glenn's
Great.
party. She really is. She's a sweetheart. And she's married to Hubba
Terry.
Hubba Hunky
Terry, the plastic
from
surgeon.
Blotched, right? Or
Botched.
Sorry. I'm not totally hip on reality TV.
You botched.
Whatever. They were nice people. I think at the end of the day, that's all you want is for people to be nice. And they appreciated the character, and I was having another fun night, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not thinking much about it. All of a sudden, we're like, you know what? Let's start a live stream. Let's start a podcast all about the LGBTQ plus community. Let's do this, right?
Right.
And as we're breaking down the segments, one of the segments, of course, I want to do is I want to do a review. I'm just thinking of myself still as a film reporter at this point. I want to do like a weekly review of the latest RuPaul episode.
Right.
Like, let's just talk about the queens. Let's talk about what they wore. I think I'd be good at that. So we're breaking down all of our ideas about what could work and not work for the show. And so we come up with this segment called Build a Queen. And the conceit of the segment is that it's, about a man going from man to glam.
Right.
But really what the segment is teaching people great lessons about fashion, beauty, contouring, things that anybody could use. Men who want to be drag queens, regular everyday women who want to be everyday women in drag, whatever. So the idea was that was going to be the concept of our fashion and beauty segment. Well, what's happened with that segment is I've been investing in a little bit of a drag closet, makeup, buying things on the internet, buying. Let me. Oh, my hips are hanging over there. I've got some props to show you kids today. So what's happened is apparently there's a drag queen inside of me that's just been dying to get out,
Definitely.
and so I'm not getting in her way anymore. In fact, I'm going to be leaning in because I feel that everything we're doing here could be enhanced with the art of drag, with drag as the art form behind it. So, for example, on Tuesdays, we're going to talk a little bit about whatever previous drag experience we had, which we just, you remember Anita? She was here on Friday. Anita
did.
Doll,
She left her mark.
darling.
She killed it.
Anita Doll.
Oh my God.
Anita
so
Doll was
funny.
here on Friday filling in for me. Thanks, Anita. And in that experience and in that performance, it was sort of it was the shoe fell. I had 2018 performing in Minderella and Oz. I had 2021, the Great Gatsby party once again. And then Friday happened. And by Friday, I knew that, okay, there's more to this. This is something that I want to put more energy into, focus on, and see what comes of it. And so Rachel, our beautiful in-house hair and makeup artist, yesterday, she and I spent the whole day developing a show concept around it. She's also excited to become a producer. And so this was an opportunity for her to produce something. So she's going to produce a web series about the transformation of this 25 plus a few years old, 45-year-old wannabe drag queen. And what all that goes into it, right? So we're going to do, we don't want to limit ourselves with any
Right.
strict definitions or whatever, but Tuesdays is going to be about reflecting on the previous planning the next. And then Friday is going to be about developing a new drag character. Always Anita doll, because I've decided I do need it all. Anita doll, darling. My mom's name is Anita. And so there's a lot of attachment to that name for me. Plus, Anita is a great name in the drag world just because it sounds like I need a.
I need a.
And so Anita doll, also Nikki doll is one of my favorite drag queens. So Nikki, if you see this by any chance, DM me, girl. You can be here in 2 seconds. I love Nikki doll. But so I thought Anita doll. And then I kept saying darling afterwards. And so I'm like, oh, well, let me make that her name. Anita doll, darling.
Yeah.
Anita doll, darling.
I love it.
It's a married name. She was one of the darlings. Right. Her fans are the darlings, or maybe the dolls. I don't know. We'll figure all that out. But we're going to develop this into a fully realized character, business, movement, and empire. That's the plan. And it's great because it's giving me a lot of focus in terms of what we're doing here. I don't know if you've ever worked on a big project before, but sometimes it's helpful to have perimeters, because the perimeters force you to think within a certain range of things and protects you from overthinking things or thinking too many different directions and too many things. So with my drag story kind of coming to this point and me loving RuPaul's Drag Race, I love, I don't know, some of you out there love tennis or football or cooking or macrame. I don't know. People have hobbies, right? This is my hobby. I think the illusion of men becoming women and having that moment of like, oh my God, that's a dude, I just love it. I don't know why. I think it's fun. It's gender bending. It's fun. It's totally on brand for us here at GGT. And so I'm leaning in hard to it. And so each Friday on our Friday show, also at 2, come and meet our new character. Like, it's always Anita doll, but each week if we, by the way, on Fridays, whenever possible, we're going to bring on an empowered woman for our empowered woman, Anita doll, to interview. So if that empowered woman happens to be a person who started a business and is an executive, well, Anita's going to bring her business executive look. And if that woman happens to be a great sports athlete or someone who's into yoga and wellness, you know who you are, she'll bring her sports bra look.
Oh my God.
And if she, so each week, the Friday show is when Anita doll is going to be here filling in and interviewing folks. And then on Tuesday, we'll break it all down. Like what went into it, how it goes, planning the next week. So on that note...
Will Shelly be back?
Do you know who Shelly is?
No.
So on April Fool's Day, Friday, when Anita co-hosted or filled in hosting, Mariah was also gone.
Yes.
Shelly and her blonde wig. So everyone
did.
And doesn't that just give you license to have fun? Like, Angelica, if you were here on a Friday, wouldn't you want to run to my drag closet and grab a wig?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
So fun.
Why not? It's fun. It's fun. It's playtime. And it's everything we represent at GGT, which is allowing people to fully express themselves for who they are, especially when doing that creates no victim whatsoever. Right. So my plan is to develop this character, and within the context of developing her, completely transparent. Welcome to the journey. If you've ever been curious about the art of drag, or maybe you yourself are thinking about getting into drag and you're like, whoa, what are the ins and outs? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how painful it is to walk in these.
God, I can't imagine. What size are those, darling?
11. I'm an 11. By the way, fun fact about my woman's shoe size.
Oh my God.
Because I'm a 9.5 in men's, and I'm an 11.5 in women's. 11 in 11.5 is the size where if you go to DSW or any of the shoe stores where they put it in a different color, they're like, hey, ladies with big feet, here are your 11s. And so they're all like in a red sticker. And I just kind of cross my eyes a little bit and look for the red dots. I'm like, those are my shoes. And I walk around. This is a beautiful piece of footwear. Obviously, it's very tasty because our dog Rue ate the heel of this one at one point, which is not great.
Oh my God. I have an idea for you.
Yes, let's hear it.
Product.
Okay.
The Anita doll.
Oh.
With her extra little looks.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yes.
You can change the outfit.
Anita doll.
Yes. So, but she transforms.
Her twin.
She's a male doll.
Yes.
That turns into drag.
That's actually a really clever idea.
I'd like a percentage, please.
Yes, of
write
course.
that down
Right?
because
So then you
drag
could also
queen
put her,
dolls.
and you could also make her drag king, depending.
Yes, of course.
Right?
I love that.
That was a DJ Alarms level idea. Thank you,
Yeah.
Angelica.
I really I see it in the plastic and everything. And then it's it may be the first drag doll.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
like, if
I mean,
you
I think
about
that
it-
RuPaul does have a Barbie or some doll, but you're right. For the purpose of changing the doll
Yes.
into a drag queen.
That,
I
like,
love
starting
that.
out, yeah.
behind it.
Hasbro,
Right?
call me.
Yeah.
Mattel,
And-
I really like that.
Trixie. I'm sure Trixie's pitched this to Mattel at some
Yeah.
point. Well, it's a brilliant idea. Good idea, Angelica. We would love to do it. So this is it. So this
Yeah.
is the new sort of direction. But everything that we've wanted to do here on GGT is
Yeah.
still possible with this new context. We can still build up our friends and GGT family like Angelica. I'm actually glad you're here because we can explain sort of the new direction we're going with you and Christy on our shows.
Okay, great.
Because we've been setting you up for your own spinoff, and those spinoffs are just going to come sooner than we realized.
I guess so.
But
We're
also,
spinning.
I might as well just say it right now. So if you've tuned into GGT so far, you've loved seeing Christy McInnes and KCM Connect Corner, where she gives us all of her branding and marketing advice. And you've especially loved the gorgeous and sexy psychic to the stars, Angelica Perman, who comes on each week and it does everything that a beautifully talented live intuitive would do, bringing you the latest and greatest in celestial news. I don't know how to say it. Like, she's a psychic and she's been doing readings.
Celestial news.
So when we're doing something in the LGBTQ plus world and it really makes sense, then we're
Right.
like, yeah, of course we'll have them back. They're our family.
Right.
But in the meantime, we're going to get some new graphics and we're going to spin Miss Angelica and Miss Christy off into their own independent shows and podcasts with their own guests and their own, you can download anywhere, the shows, and just keep going. Like ModPod Studio Live presents Gals, Gays, and Theys with JD Cargill. And soon, ModPod Studio Live presents The Angelica Perman Show with Angelica Perman. And ModPod Studio Live presents KCM Connect Corner with Christy McInnes.
I love it.
Yay.
It's so
And
exciting.
Yes,
I don't
it
know
is
if these sound
exciting.
effects are going out, but if they are, you're hearing applause right now. I hope so.
Applause.
So, but back to this show, Gals, Gays, and Theys. And today, the Tuesday show, our business up front, party in the back, is on Fridays. We are talking about this Friday's appearance by Anita Doll.
Yes, and we got some people in the chat.
We have people in the chat.
So
Yeah.
I need to
hi,
scream.
Rich. We got love this show
Awesome.
and a question for you.
All right, I'm ready for an answer.
What's the hardest part about drag?
The hard part.
Doing drag? Oh, okay, the jokes. The jokes.
The hardest part about drag, I'm not going to say my first joke.
Yeah.
It's an R-rated joke. I'll tell you.
Come on,
You know what?
say it.
We're going to get a
Let me hear
Patreon
it.
going. I'm like, the hardest talking about drag is your mouth so that you can put your makeup on. There's a famous line in RuPaul where he always asks the drag queens, hey, how's your head? And the only acceptable response is, no complaints. Anyways, drag is obviously infused. There's a lot. What I love, P.S., I do love this about the LGBTQ plus community. People talk about this all the time. Like, part of the reason why we had such a hard time with acceptance and mainstream initially was because the only idea that the mainstream world had of gay people was guys in leather chaps with their asses hanging out at the gay pride parades, right? We still have that.
Sounds fun.
God bless them. But over
That's
the
how you
years,
find them.
over the years, we've realized, oh, that's just a small, fractionalized fringe part of the gay community. Really, the gay community is filled with all the many colors of the rainbow, just like the straight community is, with teachers and lawyers and doctors and boring people and exciting people and entertainers and accountants. So my plan is to use, like, I feel like I've been in the mainstream world now my whole life. And now I'm emerging into the artistic world. Like, this is my new form of artistic expression. If you watch us on TikTok or Instagram, you can see the behind the scenes transformations. You can
Right.
see us practicing choreo. I'm hiring an acting coach. I'm going to hire a sewing coach to help me figure out how to make out an outfit.
I love it.
Rachel is here every Tuesday and Friday helping me learn makeup, eyebrows, contouring. There's a
Eyebrows.
lot. People don't realize how much goes into the art of drag to really create the illusion.
Right.
And the hope is that we build up this drag character. Not the hope. What we're going to do is build up this drag character to the point where she breaks out of my basement studio
Right.
and into the real world.
Yeah, I see that. Actually,
Yeah.
like at the white party, talking and hosting, and like a parade. Like I really feel like she should be on a parade, like a float. Like maybe GGT can have
Exactly.
her own float, right?
Or when we partner with a Wells Fargo or Absolute to be on a float that's all
Yes.
about celebrating the LGBTQ plus community
Yes.
and the art of drag, which is a
Yes.
fabulous art form. It's a gender bending, F you to society art form that really is like, if you've been on the fringes ever on the outside and you've been looking for something that's like, this is how I want to express myself, drag might be it. Like it really is. It's not for everybody, but it's for me.
It's fantastic.
And it does. I like that it challenges me in this way where, like yesterday, Rachel was here and I was trying on some of the dresses. By the way, shout out to the Plus Bus of Highland Park. I swear this is my new favorite place. And the thrift stores all over LA.
Maybe we can like do a collab with them or something.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait,
We would
what did you get
totally
there? You
collab.
got bus from there?
I got the Plus Bus is a plus size. So as a woman, I'm definitely plus size. I'm like 6'1" and 190 pounds. So this was what I wore on Friday.
Yeah.
Actually, this is what Anita Doll wore. Anita Doll, darling.
So
Because,
good.
and so do you.
Picture.
And it has a hood. $28. I'm so. Oh, here we go. There she is.
Just have to do it again.
There's
Oh,
Anita Doll,
yes.
darling, in
Anita
her
Doll.
in her outfit. Do we have any of the video of me getting ready on Friday?
I haven't.
We don't have that. Okay.
No.
We will show some of that in the future because I definitely want to just sort of break down. Rachel, unfortunately, we're very excited. Rachel booked a last minute
Right.
job today, so she's on set. Prior, she was going to be here and we were going to break down like what we did. So
Talk
we'll
through
just
it.
do that in another episode. But let me tell you, it is no small feat and it is not for the weary. Like there's a lot that goes into it.
What's
Not
the
the least
hardest?
of which I'm reading this book.
Ooh.
Suck Less by Willem. If you
Oh,
guys
that
don't
looks
know who
fantastic.
Willem is, she is one
Suck
of
less and suck more.
season 4 original drag queen from RuPaul Drag Race. This is a no holds barred.
Sorry.
Like, wait, what did you say?
I said suck less and suck more.
Suck less and suck more.
Right.
We'll talk about sucking on a whole other episode. The truth is, I will bring in like a blowjob expert and a banana, and we will do
Wait,
it.
that sounds fun.
Yeah, of course.
all wait.
Sex. There's
I'm-
nothing wrong with sex.
Can I be a part
There's
of
nothing
that?
wrong
Yeah,
with
I
sex.
want to be there.
Yes,
no,
of course.
I'm not asking. Mariah's thinking
Ah.
that. I
Yeah.
can feel you
Bananas.
psychically.
Listen.
I know how to do what I do, but
I
you
do-
can always learn.
Well, wait,
I'm
you know what?
blushing. It is hard because you're like a daughter to me, and your mom, Maria, who I love, and your Aunt Gina's one of my best friends. I was like, oh, I'm so red because I'm doing bad things with Gina. Or with Mariah.
Listen, don't you think it takes at least 10,000 hours to become an expert? So there's always room.
There's
for
always
more
room for
Everyone's got to
improvement.
start somewhere.
I mean, I don't know. 10,000 hours.
Do you know what a PJ is?
Oh,
Private jet. A PJ.
Okay,
So
what-
on Friday,
Oh, yeah.
someone asked me if, as Anita Doll, have you ever been on a PJ? And I was like, is there another kind? VJs on PJs. That's going to be
PJs
a
on
whole
PJs.
segment. Listen, you're in a healthy, happy, loving relationship, committed to your partner, and you want to, woo, raise their flag, and you want to do it from below the belt. We'll have a lesson on that. We're going to bring in someone for a proper
I love
blowjob
that, like,
lesson.
actually love that.
Absolutely.
I think that's so fun.
I just am so sick and tired of sex being maligned as this evil, gross, shadowy thing.
It's fun.
It's what created us. It's a beautiful thing. We don't need to be doing it in public. I know that's a private thing.
Wow.
I'm not.
it depends.
And if everybody else in that public environment has agreed.
Consented.
I mean, wasn't there
Sex
just a big
party?
news story about some orgy happening in DC? And
Oh my gosh.
really?
I don't know.
oh, I'm
Like
the only
public?
one that watches CNN. There is literally a like.
That's a reason to watch CNN.
Exactly. No, some young congressman was like, "Oh, I got invited to a sex party."
Okay.
It was like, "You're invited, please." I got. You know what? I'm
It
not
was a
going to do
public one?
justice to the story. It was some older men, but the way that he said it was like, "When I got there, I realized." So you went,
Oh.
and there was a whole thing. We will do a better job of explaining that story when I have all the details in a
Okay.
future show. I do not
Sex
like
parties are
giving
cool,
a
though.
half-ass story, but right now what we're talking about is my personal journey in the drag world. And as an art form, I don't know, some people play the piano, some people love to make a painting, some people are seamstresses or sculptors, and some people create illusions. And that is what I feel the art of drag is creating an illusion. I don't happen to be a cross-dresser like in regular life, though I have no judgment on that. We are talking, she's not here. Rachel and I are talking about this gentleman in England who literally is cisgender, heterosexual, who works in a professional men's suit attire from the top to the waist, and then from the waist to the knee, it's a pencil skirt.
Really?
And stilettos.
Cool.
Like that is he just likes it. I can't remember his name, but we'll talk about. We're gonna talk about
it. Trend right now. I'm
Amazing.
actually seeing this a lot.
Do you feel it?
Like the purse.
Oh, yeah.
And the shoes. So I have a friend of mine who has an amazing Instagram account and does fabulous makeup and has his own line. And he launched a whole new look where he's dressing in masculine clothing. And
cool.
Fabulous pumps.
Ah.
I love
outrageous
that.
purses, and then some eyeshadow, and then he put it into his campaigns.
That's the example. Not
So
like
fierce.
me. No.
Show those socks.
Show those socks.
Pull them all the way up.
As a boy, by the way, you know I'm a boy because I'm wearing a tie.
You are.
You can wear a tie for your girl too, though.
Yes, but this is
Yeah.
my little joke.
I know.
Was like on Tuesdays I wear a tie.
I know.
And so people can say like, well, how do you dress on the show? I'm like, oh, I always wear a tie
Yeah.
on Tuesdays
Anita.
with a t-shirt.
Though.
But Anita Doll, she'll wear a tie.
Yeah.
She'll wear it between her teeth.
Yeah.
She's like, oh.
Wait,
No, but
I
we're
have a question.
yes.
How do you tuck?
Okay.
Yeah, let's get into the
This is okay.
I
This
wanna
is
know
the
about
question
tuck.
that a lot of people are going to
Nip and
have,
tuck.
and I am going to really try to do it in a transparent way.
Okay.
Rachel and I have been talking about this. So part of the reason why I'm reading this book is because literally Willem, a very famous drag queen, who is infamous in a way for being the first to be disqualified from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But really did well, apparently.
Yeah, she slept with a production person or something, or they slept with her, or the story has multiple endings. Like she's over time said that
Happy
actually that
endings.
wasn't it. Actually, I wanted off because I had another opportunity. Like who knows? The point is, this is her book. It's very popular. She's a cutie, and she has an entire. And I'm going to bring this over to you when I find it. Chapter on tucking, and not only does it have the lesson, it has photos.
Wow.
And it's interesting. This is a challenge. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I have not ever tucked. I just try to find out. In fact, on Friday, if you look at Anita Doll, she's carrying this this wrap with her everywhere she goes. So when I started out the show, laying across the desk, I had the wrap across
See,
being
wrap
just
instead
the
of
right
tuck.
place.
Wrap.
I just make sure that it's hidden because so apparently the way, if you want to be like sort of biological about it, when boys are before puberty, our balls are kind of up inside of us. That's what the ball dropping during puberty happens. The reason that your balls drop away from your body is so that it lowers the temperature of the production of sperm. Sperm, if your testicles were too close to your body, the sperm would die because it's too hot. So they have to lower that little distance.
Right.
I mean, for some of us, it's a foot. Just kidding. That 3 centimeters.
How low do you hang?
This is actually a problem we can talk about in a second.
Low-hanging fruit.
But it cools the production of sperm. There's a lot of doctors out there right now who are like, he's trying his best to explain something that's true.
It's like you don't go in hot. You can't sit in a
Exactly.
hot tub for
It's
too
the
long.
same reason why if you're trying to have a baby, you don't go in a hot tub. If you're trying to have a
Right.
baby, you don't wear tighty whities. You
Right.
wear boxers because if you press your balls up against your torso, it heats them up and it kills the sperm. So that's why balls drop. Apparently, according to most drag queens, you can push them back up into those sockets, and that's
my
what they
God.
do to like, and then they pull the wiener
Up there
Yeah,
too.
the peen.
Like fold it. Like,
That part with marina tape. This is tape that is used to like plug holes on ships. That liquidy tape, you just stick it
Okay.
right on your pubic
You
area.
made a slapping sound.
and
That
you
was
pull-
really good.
There you go. And
so
then
you
it all
have to
comes
like
out smooth.
shave completely, right?
Yes, and there
that
are
could be
so many
painful.
ways in
That
which
could be
this is going to be a
painful.
challenge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, whoa.
So anybody who knows me
So that in itself,
knows that this is not my favorite part of drag.
right? So would
And-
that be the hardest part?
Oh, I mean the physically hardest part.
Yeah.
For me, the physically hardest part is probably a combination of the breastplate when you wear
Oh,
it makes you sweat underneath so
Right.
bad
Oh,
and
wow.
How?
kept
Okay,
slipping
how
down.
on like RuPaul? And maybe I just never noticed, but like, how do they hide the like
The-
separation
the
from?
neck?
Yeah.
So when they're wearing a breastplate that has a neckline, a lot of times they'll wear chunky jewelry around their neck,
yes,
like a
yes.
choker or something
Right.
to hide it. I should have done that on Friday, like, because you could see it rolling down.
Sometimes, but not all the time, though.
All right.
It's a journey, but that's part of the process. Like,
Right.
I'm really excited to show people, like, you know, the makeup aspects of it, the judgment, the hair, the costume,
Yeah.
the walking. Like, it's a lot. Like, becoming a woman is hard.
You can walk pretty well in heels.
And
you also jump around and run around in them.
yes.
I'm like, oh my
well,
God.
that actually, you know how I learned that quick? Someone told me, don't touch your heels.
Right.
It's the irony of high heels
You walk on
is
your
you walk on your toes.
Yeah. That's why
And
we
now
always
that once
have
I learned
posters and
that,
stuff.
I literally run around on my toes
Yeah.
like a little.
It is easier.
fairy drag queen.
I feel like than people think it is.
Right.
But someone actually asked another question.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it. Wait, what was the last question? Was it about tucking?
What's the hardest part about drag?
Tucking.
Tucking. This is from Popcorn.
Hi, popcorn.
What would mean making it? Oh, what would mean making it in the drag world for you?
That's a great
I love
question. You know what? Honestly, my standard isn't outwardly. Like, I don't need any kind of validation from anybody. Like, that's just where I am in my life right now. I've already made it in the drag world as far as I'm concerned because I'm doing it.
Right.
But for popcorn, our hope is we're loosely saying that it's going to be a 6-week series. So we're loosely saying that in about 6 weeks, I'd like to be on stage somewhere performing.
Oh, I love that.
That's-
I can't
that's
wait.
Getting on
the goal.
stage.
Yes.
So getting on stage in like a meaningful, like coin. Where's that button? That's validation as a drag queen because at the end of the day, I'm still
It's
trying to make a living.
expensive, too.
Like I am.
Get all
It
those outfits
is.
Right.
and
Oh,
everything. It's
I mean,
quite an investment in beauty.
but if you think about it, I don't own a jet ski. I don't have a boat. I don't have any of the boy toys. You know,
Right.
when you
Oh,
were
yeah.
when I was growing up, men especially, because women were too busy doing the hard work of raising children, making food, like doing everything else.
Right.
In my time in the 80s, men were like, oh, well, JD, when you've reached a certain place in your career, you can just make a choice to like get a gun or get a boat
God.
and like go have fun doing what you want to do.
Oh my God,
Turns out
JD.
that's stilettos and a boas. And I fully plan to
Makeup
use
and
my
wings.
hard-earned ducks to build up this hobby, this career. I don't know if it's a career. You know what? Rachel asked me a really good question yesterday. It was literally like the first thing she asked. She said, what is drag to you? Is it a profession? Is it a hobby? Is it? And I said, first and foremost, it's an art form. Like
Yeah.
it makes me feel like the way that maybe if I had just discovered sculpture and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go get clay. Like I feel so excited about it. This weekend, did you already show pictures of me as a judge?
Yeah. Do you
How
want to go back to it?
I just mean
With
like,
Judge
let's
Judy.
show.
I wanna
Oh,
see,
yeah.
I wanna
So
see.
I'm a concept guy, right? I love RuPaul's Drag Race. I think somewhere in the back of my head is this could all be leading up to an audition tape, not because I'd get on the show, because I know that I can't dance, sing, do all that stuff. Although I'm going to try to learn.
You never know.
But that's also another milestone. Is like
Right.
if I feel like her, because at first Anita Doll is going to be a look queen. And a look queen is somebody who literally exists on Instagram. That's it. Like she's going to exist here at the house with us developing her. I'll come on Fridays as Anita Doll and she will have a show. And then we'll do a photo shoot and we'll put that content out on social media.
How fun.
And then eventually she'll get to a point where she feels like she can go out in public. And then that will be a
can't wait.
milestone. And then the first time she gets paid to do something, we're gonna document her entire journey. And Rachel is going to produce a behind the scenes show about it. That's what she's
Right.
working on while I'm doing all this stuff. So to answer the question about money and how much it costs to do all of this, it is going to be expensive, but it doesn't have to be. Like that's the thing about drag, that if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, you realize right away that a lot of people come to this as an art form, kind of as a quiet solitude moment. Like they're in their house and they feel this compulsion to do it. But, society doesn't accept men dressing up as women. It's so taboo. And so they just secretly like do it and practice it in their homes until they get good enough. And then they have that scary moment, usually on Halloween,
Right,
where they
right,
push themselves to go out and drag in public. And then that sparks something. I had that moment on stage in 2018, like I told you earlier. So for me, my journey is kind of like, I'm at a point in my life right now where I am no longer apologizing for what I enjoy. And I encourage everybody to be this way. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not sacrificing the responsibility that I should be doing or paying attention to some partner or children or family. I take care of my mother. I take care of my house, my team here at GGT. And now I take care of Anita Doll, darling.
Right.
And so why? Because I need it all.
Yeah.
And I just like it. Why should any of us do anything that we do, right? We should
For joy.
really be following our passions and our callings. I'm not saying that, I'm going to be the next drag superstar of the world, but I do think that in the course of doing this, we will discover a lot of fun lessons. We will learn a lot about ourselves, myself, Rachel, and everybody on the team here. And we will probably learn a lot about the world too, because as I fearlessly go out in drag into the world and we start to record these interactions, we'll learn a lot about people and bring all that back here and sort of dissect it and see what it means. But
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
What song? Do you have a song that you'd like to perform if you could? Do you
I-
have any?
The first song, I know, these are such good questions because I don't even think you know this, Mariah, but I was going through a song list, because I think that as a look queen, like for example, on Friday when I was dressed up in this way, we did a photo shoot. You've seen some of the photos. If we, moving forward or smart, will capitalize on this expensive makeup moment,
Right.
and also do like a video shoot. And I was thinking, what songs do I want to lip sync in the beginning?
Okay.
And my first song that I want to lip sync is Prince's Kiss.
Yes.
So
Yes, that's
what
a
I
good
love
one.
about it is Prince has a high voice. So when you first hear it and you see a woman singing it,
It
you're
makes
like,
sense.
wait. And it's not the most famous song in the world.
It's a great
It is a great song.
though.
And one of my best friends, Sarah. I love you, Sarah. Smile. She's in Boston right now watching. Chat. We're going to all to be together in New York next week. I'm so excited.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So when we were freshmen in freshman in college at UCSB, I was 17. I think she was 18.
wow.
She's born in
You were
May.
young.
So she got there, and like when we were all getting to know each other in the dorms, we all went to the Annex, which is this little like thing, and there was a talent show night. Welcome to UCSB. Come get to know your fellow students. Right. And so all of us from Sendic, we're all friends now. We go over and they're like, do you have any volunteers for people who want to sing? And Sarah's like, whew. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm so nervous. Like I am probably this is the epitome of my life when I cared so much about what other people think. Like a
Okay.
17-year-old boy having left a high school where he thought he was the shit and going to a college where he knows he's not. I just cared so much about what other people thought. And at the time when Sarah offered to do that, a new friend, I was like, please don't embarrass us. Please don't. People are going to be looking, And then she went out there and killed it. Like I was like, she can sing. Look, I figure out eventually, because we're new friends, she went to a performing arts high school down in San Diego. I mean, she was a trained singer. So it was all meant to be an amazing performance. But ever since that moment, that song, Prince, Kiss, all I want is your kiss. Yeah, that song has been in my head as like a great performance song.
It's good.
And I was just listening to it the other day, and I'm a creative, so I'm thinking extreme close up on Anita Doll's face. The first part of the song is like a slower part where he's setting up the words. I love that I'm all mixed up on pronouns. That's the way life should be, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Male, female, it doesn't. I don't think it does. Anyway, so I want to do that song because I think that it is even more gender bending for a female drag queen to sing a male song that is in a voice or octave that sounds kind of female, but the words of the song are the message is really what I want to communicate at first. So that's one. Good question.
I love it.
Did you have a suggestion for a good song you think would make a great drag song?
Oh, I think a Patti LaBelle song would be
yes.
good.
All the divas.
Yeah.
Celine,
Celine.
Whitney, Gaga,
Yeah. Tina Turner.
Streisand, Tina Turner, all the
Ariana.
divas. Ariana.
She's
So,
new, but
I'm just like, I'm not so much a choreo girl. I'm not a dancer. So
Yeah.
I feel like,
Yeah.
my thing is going to be so as Rachel and I are developing this little side series, and we're all part of it, I'm thinking, really, how do I want to express myself? Like, what is the message here? Well, Anita Doll was born from self-love. Like, she only exists because JD got to a point in his life where he doesn't care. And you know why I don't care?
yes.
Because I love myself. Like, that's what happens.
Right.
Here's the secret sauce, folks. When you love yourself, trust yourself, know yourself, you no longer have to worry about what anyone else thinks about you, because that is their problem. That is in their head. I do not care. I do not care what all of my previous work experiences, all the previous celebrities I've interviewed, all of the politicians, the star, like all those people that I used to think so much about. I don't care. I don't. I mean, I love people. It's not, I'm not trying to be rude and be like, oh, I'm just saying to live your life free of expectation,
Right.
for the joy of your soul. Like, what brings you joy in your soul? This right now brings me joy, and this is what I'm going to pursue, and I don't have any apologies for it.
Woo.
Fantastic.
So did I get through all the points that I wanted to get through? Because I know we talked about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I have my 3 theories.
Oh, yeah.
I do have 3 quick theories about how I became a drag queen. Theory 1. Hello, mother. Come a little closer.
I saw her today. She's
Did you?
fabulous. Uh-huh.
Here's the tea on how JD became a drag queen. My mother is my greatest protector. I'm a total mama's boy. If you were to hit your finger on the rewind button in my life, the video you would see from ages birth to 17 when I went to college was me coming in every morning to the principal bedroom. I don't think we call it master bedroom anymore. Primary bedroom. Mom, are you decent? Yes, mijo. Come in. I walk around the corner, and there's my mom at her vanity, lights, makeup, every single day for as long as I can remember. That's how, and I mean, can I have $1 for lunch? And yes, and kiss and go to school, right? So one of my theories is about, and the fact that I named this character Anita, and my mother's name is Anita, is to honor her. Like, in a weird way, I feel like she was I was not the boy. My dad tried to pull me out to work on the truck, to do mechanics, to play sports. And I was like, nope, I'm going shopping with mom. And we go to JCPenney's. And my favorite thing was to hide in the racks and to pop out and to give her advice about fashion.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
At 6.
I mean, that was the first clue.
Hello.
Come on.
So I have a friend right now who's going to come on the show, and I don't want to bust the surprise, but she's our age. And she's raising some kids. And one of those kids is probably a little JD, the way I was when I was young. But I wasn't raised to believe that I could embrace my desire to play with dolls or wear pink or to do any of that stuff. I was raised like I was sort of forced into the traditional way. And not even by other people. I feel like I was, I don't want anyone to know. Like, I wasn't trying to like tell everybody. My grandma let me buy a Barbie once. Thanks, Grandma Virginia. May she rest in peace. My hero. So my first theory is that the reason I'm so obsessed with drag is because on some level, women have always protected me. And I'm a feminist, and I believe that they are the superheroes of the planet. And so for me to become, represent a female superhero, which is what I think drag queens are, honors my mother and the sacrifice that she gave and all those dollars for lunch. My second trauma. Oh my God. I meant my second theory is trauma. So why am I a drag queen? My second theory is that I want to become a drag queen because all those little unexpressed, unacknowledged small T traumas from when I was a kid, the boys and girls sometimes physically hurting me, pushing me into lockers, calling me the F word, calling me all the epithets that they do back then. Mm-hmm. None of that has any power on me now. But those little small T traumas, when they were unacknowledged in my life, when I had not processed them, said them out loud like I just did and worked through them, they hold space in you. And everybody has small T traumas. Some people have big T traumas. Sometimes the big T traumas, I think, are actually easier to deal with and recognize because it's so undeniable that you were traumatized. I didn't know I was traumatized until I was 44. Like, I just never thought of myself that way. I always thought every kid is raised with all this bullshit, you know? Mm-hmm. But it really impacted me. It really affected the way I think. And it is what caused me, for most of my 20s and 30s, to live a life that was defined by shame, doubt, fear, and guilt. Like, hiding, exactly.
Because you couldn't hide.
And trying so hard to make it in a career where I would be impressive to people. So, oh, look, he's not weird. He's normal. Like this, I've been fighting to be accepted in this heteronormative world my whole existence. And I'm not doing that anymore. And so my second theory about the birth of drag in my life and this appreciation for this art form is that it's just the perfect answer to where I am right now, in the sense that I'm no longer apologizing to these small t traumas. I accept the shame and the doubt and the guilt and the fear that I felt. I don't throw them away. They're part of what made me who I am. But I say, when Dustin Keaton pushed me down in the dirt and he was chasing me around the park behind Skyline North School, and I dropped to my knees, so he tripped over me, one of my best moves ever, because he was constantly chasing me, trying to beat me up. That hurt goes with you for years and years and years. And it wasn't until I was like, oh my God, that did hurt me. That did create trauma. Then I realized, oh, that trauma is why I have not been able to express myself honestly like this in the world. And now that I am, it's like, what else do I want? Like, what do I want? I want drag. So I feel like the second theory about where this drag queen came from is that she represents a newly self-actualized phase of my life, where she was only possible because I no longer care what you think. Like, I don't care. I genuinely do not. Like, there is not a single person out there who's looking at, who I care the most about? Like everybody else, my mother. Right. And she has never been more supportive.
I love that.
Than she is in my life right now. And she gets it. And we play in my drag closet together.
I love it.
We'll show some photos of that. She's got wigs, Veronica and Celeste. We're naming our wigs.
Love.
And it's just a great bonding moment between mother and son. I mean, listen, what we're doing here, this is for you. If we're talking to you. Like a lot of people are going to be like, oh, there's some drag. That's not everybody's art form. I get it. You know what? I'm not watching Joe Rogan right now talk about girls' boobs and sports boats. I don't even know if sports boat's a thing. Whatever. Duke, like sports. That's not our world. Like, this is my world. Where you're going to love this. I am trying to find an audience that loves this.
Well, Popcorn said, I will definitely be tuning in from now on.
Well,
Yay,
you know what,
hi,
Popcorn might just very well be our first person that I don't actually know.
I love
so,
it. God
bless you. If you put your real name in that chat right now, Popcorn, I'll give you a shout out, because that's the kind of fun thing we want to do here at GGT. And then I have my final and third theory for why I'm becoming a drag queen and why this is. I have spent my entire career making the women I love shine.
Yes.
Mindy, I love you. You know I do. Mindy Burbano. Now she's Mindy Stearns. She's also my co-host on Friends Some and Then Some with Michelle. When I started my career in news, I was 21, and I was at KTLA in the year 2000. And Mindy was my reporter. She had been on Entertainment Tonight. She was a goddess. She still is. And I idolized her. Like, I wanted that career. I wanted to be her. But I never acknowledged that. So I was content with making sure she shone as bright as possible. And we even have a joke that, because I would go write the segment, and if there was a red carpet involved that she didn't need to be on, go get the sound bites, and then she would come in and do the news segment. And my favorite thing to say to her, which ironically and coincidentally enough is exactly what RuPaul says to his girls, don't fuck it up. I used to say that to Mindy every single night for 4 years. That was a very precious time of my life. But she would acknowledge this, I'm sure, as I do, that my life was spent, like, my career was about making her shine. I was a producer. That was the job. I was meant to be there to write and to gather news information that was going to make her shine. And so great. And then I did that at CNN with Sevilla and Brooke. Shout out Sevilla and Brooke. I've loved all the women I've worked with, by the way. Maybe just one. You know who you are. Not you, Kareen. I love Kareen, Sevilla, Mindy, and Brooke. If you didn't hear your name just now, you know who you are.
No!
Okay. So, but I've just spent so much. So my third theory about why I'm becoming a drag queen is because I'm ready to be the woman who I make shine. Like, I am ready for JD Cargill, me, to focus my energy, my talents, because I'm a good producer. I am a good entertainment producer. On this character who's also me, but somehow I'm able to separate myself. For the first time ever, the way I see it, and I say this all the time, is like Elvira. Like, the actress who plays Elvira, do we know what her name is? I mean, I
No
know
idea.
we should look that up. Look up who Elvira's real name is. But you know Elvira. She's the character. But the woman behind her, she gets to live her life anonymously. Like, I cannot imagine a better scenario than, it's like Dolly Parton, like, who says that she goes shopping and like
Cassandra Peterson.
Yes, Cassandra Peterson. Cassandra Peterson, aka Elvira. I don't know what Cassandra Peterson looks like in her out of makeup, out of the black spiky wig and her boobs pushed up and all that. She's a drag queen. Elvira is a drag queen. Cassandra Peterson is not. Look at her. That's Elvira.
Oh my God.
Would you know if you bumped into her in the mall? By the way, if you're
not.
listening on the podcast, this is exactly why you should check out our videos on YouTube.
I love that.
Yeah, she is beautiful. She's wonderful. But I think the perfect sort of drag reality would be a everyday boy persona that no one knows, because you don't want people digging through your laundry and your trash and your mail. But having this sort of this known figure who can go out and do things that I can't do.
Yeah, it's
right?
an altered ego. It's a part of
Exactly.
you that you get to express, that some of it maybe was when you were repressed in a certain way. Some of it is the things that you love so much in women.
That's true.
That you support. And the other is that you just love everything about the art form, right?
What you're saying is true. It's all three theories.
I just
You
did
did.
a little
You looped them
callback.
together.
I
It's
did,
like-
because I wanted you to hear that,
It's true.
you know, like from another person's perspective, when you can hear what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is what the art form is too. It's call and response. It's not usual that a drag queen's just by themselves. Like, they perform, they're
Sure.
interacting with the audience. And I loved you. Basically, you were doing the chat with that. I was there,
Mm-hmm.
but you were live and you were doing this experience of the jokes, and I want to see her interview people.
That's it.
And
That's
I like
next.
to do a reading.
Oh, that's good. I'll be
and her
interested.
career.
It's funny because on Friday's show, the whole joke was that I was filling in for JD.
right.
You know, that he wasn't able to make it. I'm his cousin Anita, named after my aunt, JD's mom.
Right.
And so I came out here, and it was like, it kind of went longer than we thought it was going to go, but it was over an hour where we were all in character.
Yeah.
Even Rachel and Mariah were in character in
I
drag.
liked Shelly, by the way.
Shelley.
I liked Shelly.
And
She
Emo
was
Chanel.
sultry.
Rachel's character is Emo Chanel.
Yeah. That
So
worked, too.
Emotional,
That worked.
Shelly, and Anita Doll.
Shelly.
And
Shelly talks.
and
very
then we
sexy.
did our big reveal where we're like, April Fools, it's been us the whole time, right?
Yeah. Whip
Shelley
off the
could-
glasses.
I have
Exactly.
to tell you, I was a little like, where's Mariah? And then I was like, where's Mariah? And then I'm like, as I watched, like after the fact, but I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, is that Mariah? And then the voice too, I was like, wait, is that right? Where's that? Did they get an intern? 'Cause
So
we
she was
had
fooled. We
interns,
got her on April's Fools.
And I'm like, maybe there's an intern, and they have Shelly, the drag queen, is like an intern.
I love it. That's so good.
And she's going to do the show with Anita.
Shelly will be back.
It was a quick moment where you fooled me. I just want you to know
I
that.
love that.
I love it.
I
I'm
really
glad that
love
we did.
I really love that.
That was the goal. And then today we showed the video of behind the scenes of me coming down and surprising her. Because the whole thing,
fantastic,
literally that last Friday started with me texting her mom and aunt saying, what can I do to surprise Mariah for April Fools?
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, that's how it started.
my
That's
God,
how
I
this
didn't
whole
know.
thing
Funny.
started.
Oh, it's
And then I was
all of
thinking,
Bruce.
oh, what if I wasn't? Oh, what if I? Oh, Rachel can come in. Like, it all started like pulling together.
Yeah.
And we created this character, and I had a blast. Like, it was so much fun on
I
Friday.
didn't see you till the show.
You did
Like,
not, which is unusual.
I was just down here like all morning and didn't know what was going on upstairs. It was pretty fun.
Which is kind of like not like us, because we like to plan a little bit of the show out. But on Fridays it's
Our
unscripted,
unscripted,
and
yeah.
so we don't talk as much about it, and we can just have fun.
Yeah.
But I do think you're right. I think that it's all three of these theories
Right.
combined. I love and respect. I'm a feminist. At my core, I have been protected most by women in my life and taken care of and loved most by women. And I love them the most. Even though I'm sexually not attracted to women, I feel indebted to women. And I feel like using my male privilege and my look white privilege, even though I'm half Mexican and gay, like, I know how I present in the world. I
Right.
feel like using that privilege to help women. And what better way to fully help them than to become one and understand their pain, literally and figuratively. And then the trauma, of course, and becoming getting to a place in life where you're comfortable with yourself and you no longer owe anybody anything. Like, I don't have to worry about a boss anymore. I don't have to worry about anything. It's a very liberating feeling. You're like, someday, many people out there in corporate America go, he's going to regret this moment. No, I won't.
Not anymore.
No, I
I'm
won't.
gonna say not anymore.
Because I also don't ever do anything that I wouldn't do. Like, I'm never going to like whip it out on stage. Like, I'm not going to say things that I wouldn't say. Like, it's just not in me.
Why not?
We will give BJ's to
The
bananas.
day is
though.
young. That's Patreon content.
That is Patreon content.
You want to see me whip it out?
OnlyFans.
You got to become a Patreon member.
We could do OnlyFans.
Just kidding.
We will be sucking
Oh, God.
bananas on here, though.
On-
Not whipping it out, but bananas will be involved.
It's so funny. I just see the clock here. We are in our second hour. And
Wait, really fast. Popcorn wrote her name. She goes by she, her pronouns.
Great. Hi, she, her, popcorn.
Rhiannon is her name.
Hi, Rhiannon.
I
Oh,
love
Rhiannon.
that name so much.
Do you?
Yeah. Isn't that so pretty? It's like the Fleetwood Mac song.
Rhiannon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi,
Stevie
Rhiannon.
Nicks.
Thank you for
Rhiannon.
watching GGT.
She
We
said,
hope that you...
I'm bi/pan. Bi/pan.
Oh,
Me
beautiful.
too.
That's your girl. You know what?
Oh, you
and
can't
her
see me.
camera's not working today.
I was
Oh,
like,
no.
me
We're
too.
gonna-
I
she's
wanna
looking at the
talk to
camera.
you today during the show,
You need it.
Mariah.
Popcorn hasn't
Dang
even
it.
seen Mariah and how
Yeah.
cute she is. And she is, you guys are in the same
Oh, you know what
subgroup.
happened?
Oh.
Pan by.
I think Shelly took your camera.
No kidding.
Shelly went, nah. That's
Yeah,
for me.
she's like, I don't know, honey. I think I'm gonna be the new star. of
You know, I can
GGT."
certainly talk for at least the next 30 seconds while you ran over on camera and hugged Miss Angelica here so that our new friend Rhiannon could see what you look like.
Yeah,
That's
come.
gonna be such a bad angle.
It's going to be a...
Here's
you
here's
can-
So
what
I'm
I'll
doing
say.
my best,
Here's
girl.
Sit.
I am doing my
Pivot.
best.
Rhiannon, if you want to see what I look like, watch our next show.
That's right. The camera will be working on Friday. Rhiannon's like, I'm there.
Okay, girl.
And
This secures her return.
I will say, Anita
you,
Doll,
Ryan.
Anita Doll, darling, will be back on Friday in one form or another. Unless Rachel completely books a job. And then I'm like, because here's also the thing we should tell everybody. I get that it's a skill set. Like, I can't just buy my way into the drag world. Like, I've got to learn how to put on my makeup. I've got to learn wigs. I got to learn padding. We're going to talk about all that stuff. Actually, will you do me a favor? Will you go grab next to that hanger right there, next to that pink dress, is a second hanger with my hips on it. I was going to give people just one little like secret.
I could get it.
Oh, you can? Okay, you can stay there.
Wait, I already got it.
Oh, she's already up. I want everybody to know that we're going to be very transparent about the process. There's a lot of stuff that goes into making a man a woman. And prior, I was thinking I'm going to be more... You don't have to... Oh, she's bringing the whole dress. No, she's not. She's bringing the hips. So
hips.
if you bring a photo up of me as Anita Doll from Friday, thank you, love. Oh, I love Angelica. I do. And you look so cute. You look like a hip hop artist. This
The hips.
are my hips. So boys,
so loud.
sometimes, like this one, are built like this. Like straight, like 11. And it's an 8. A woman's an 8. And a boy is an 11. So how do you turn an 11 into an 8? You add some curves. So this is literally from Amazon.com. These are hips. And you have to like literally squeeze the hips. We call them Africa because the hip is shaped like the continent of Africa. And you push them into these little side pouches. And once it's all done, you have these beautiful hips. You pull this up on your body. And then when you're wearing a dress, it looks like you're got an hourglass figure
Bow, bow.
from certain angles. And then I got a big ass already. So that just fills it all out in the back. That's the truth. That's how it happens. And so upstairs, I was washing my breast. So a breastplate is something that I was going to show, but then I thought, oh, YouTube might like be upset.
Yeah,
I could put some
actually.
black tape across it. I mean, it looks like real boobs.
It does.
Like,
It might get flagged for that.
yeah.
reason.
It would 100%
Yeah, it would.
because they're so realistic looking.
Yeah.
So if you looked, can you pull up one more image of me as Anita Doll?
As an
We'll show it
example,
because
yes.
sometimes people are like, wait, oh no, even a better one would be as the judge. Because there's a couple of those photos when I was, so I thought it would be, oh no, you can't.
Or not this one.
Did you should show that just for Angelica though. So I thought if I was ever on RuPaul's Drag Race, my first entry look, it would be really clever if I came in as a judge. And I was like, I'm not here to compete. I'm here to
love
judge.
Yes.
And even though I'm not judgmental at all anymore. But instead of we were talking about boobs. So the cleavage is so realistic, and the boobs themselves, the breastplate is so realistic. Like it shows the nipples, all of it, and it's really a beautiful thing if you think about it, because a lot of times it's not drag queens buying these products. These products are being bought by women who maybe have had a double mastectomy or some other reason why a woman would want to fill out their outfit, and create an illusion. And so there's a lot of that parallel, by the way. There's a lot of overlap in the drag community with the community of women who also need to let's learn some tricks and hacks on how to feminize my body, right? So there you go. Can you see that?
This photo is so stunning. This is for sure going on our Instagram. This is so good.
So that is the front entryway to my house. It's a I'm sitting on 109-year-old bricks there, but those boobs are 12 minutes old because I bought them on Amazon. But the thing about a breastplate that people don't realize is it goes up so far, the skin on it, the silicone, and it covers your male Adam's apple, and it gives you female clavicles. So those aren't my clavicles. My clavicles are a little bit more wide set, like a man. It brings in it's literally got clavicle. Clavicle.
But what's the other word for the chest? Décolletage?
Oh, décolletage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's that word? I know there's a word.
The whole.
But it gives you that.
The front experience.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a request for Anita.
Please.
I would like to see Anita as I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, that's a good look.
Of Barbara Eden.
Ponytails, are hard in the drag world. You know why? Because so much about the hair is about hiding the side of my masculine face right here.
But she did have bangs.
Yes.
And the thing that goes over.
It can fully be done.
So that would
100%.
cover, right?
I actually kind of have an idea for a Genie character. She's actually tied to a radiator in a basement. It's a whole thing with the song. I know. It's Genie. Have you ever heard the song Genie in a Bottle? Yeah. Of course you have, by Christina Aguilera. Yeah. So earlier you asked me about my first drag songs. So one is Prince's Kiss. And the second one was Genie in a Bottle. And
I'm picking up on that.
Yeah. And the reason but rather than her being in this, if you listen to the words of that song, she's trying to escape. She's trying to come out into the world. And, but if she's stuck in a bottle or in a basement with a radiator. So I thought, the thing about drag too is it's an elevated form of everything, right? So it's not enough just to come out and look feminine. You got to come out and look feminine and ... There has to be more. If you watched RuPaul's Drag Race, at least, this form of drag. I know there's lots of different forms. There's club kid drag. There's a lot of forms of drag that aren't celebrated on TV as much. We can do that here if you are. Come on over. But there is so much. There's so many different ways to express yourself. But the way that I'm choosing to express myself is more sort of this, I guess, expected. Drag clothes. Going shopping, having a makeup artist, teaching me these looks. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So Rachel and I are going to work every Friday on a new version of Anita to present to all of you. And then sometimes, every time not sometimes, I'm going to try to start the process before she gets here. So
that's a great idea.
On Friday, I did my eyebrows. Because ultimately, it's this is the thing I never understood about fitness trainers. Eventually, aren't you trained? When do you get to tell a fitness trainer, okay, good, thanks, I'm trained, I can exercise myself? Well, Rachel's training me to do my makeup. She's training me to do my hair. She's training me to be a drag queen. And I think she even impressed herself recently because she was like, oh, I didn't believe I did that. So good job, girl. But she is, so in order to honor that training, each time we do the character, I'm going to try to do more and more on my own. I'm going to try to, I've learned a technique you have to glue down your eyebrows as a man to be a drag queen because women's eyebrows are arched higher on their forehead.
Right.
So my masculine butch, scoot over.
Oh my God, I like that
Tom
voice.
Cruise, Will Smith. Who's Butch? I don't know. Timothy Chalamet. I have to cover these with Elmer's glue. This purple Elmer's glue that you push down. You do it several times and you powder them. And eventually you look like just a big forehead. And then you draw or you artistically create the look of new eyebrows. And then where your male eyebrows were, that's now kind of where eyeshadow is and stuff that's it's not if the illusion is, it's an art form.
It really
It really is an art form. And what Rachel did, I mean, the fact that photo,
Yeah. It's.
I mean, ModPod Studio, TikTok, subscribe, like, follow. So there it is, folks. That was me explaining what's coming up next, both in this segment, Build a Queen, but also really what we're going to do with GGT here. We are really always focused on LGBTQ plus issues and news, entertainment, and things that improve the lives of LGBTQ plus people and their allies. But also, we're going to be an experiment in drag. We're going to follow my journey, middle-aged JD, celebrity reporter and producer turned drag queen, like follow that journey from man to glam and just be really transparent about it. And who knows where it's going to go in a few years. We don't know. I think I'm building a mountainside retreat with glamping tents too. So we'll have drag camp up there someday.
Yes, Man Glam Camp.
Man Glam Camp.
And I also think that your book, you could do a book from man to glam.
Like this?
Yes, from man to glam.
Suck
and there's
less. That's very clever.
Right, and there's you with your reportery, cutie, JD.
Go back to cute.
Yeah,
Really
you're
super
cute.
handsome.
You're super handsome and cute.
Okay.
Into your glamorous Anita.
Yes.
You know, I think that would be fabulous.
Well, thank you.
'Cause,
What's
I mean,
one
you're
good
very-
vote?
You're very, your look is very specific.
Oh, is it? And by
This look,
specific,
this
oh,
look.
me as a boy.
Yeah, you as a boy. It's like, this is
By the
who
way, I
you
love
are.
being a boy. I'm
Yeah,
45.
you're so
I'm a
cute.
boy.
You are a
I feel like I need a
boy.
lollipop
You
and like
are
a
a
red
boy.
wagon.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
Well, you have that. You have that
I'm
cute.
there's a live action Pinocchio coming
There
out.
is.
That'll be fun.
Oh my God. Yes.
I'm a real boy now.
I mean, you have dimples.
I'm
the
a real boy.
glasses, The nice hair.
Oh, that is one thing some people have said. It was like, if you do become a drag queen, you could maybe be like the most masculine out of drag queen there is. Because a lot of drag queens feminize as men, probably just because it's easier, like shaving your eyebrows, getting filler. I just don't want, I like the way I am as a dude. Like
I like it too.
Yeah.
I think
but
it works.
it just adds to the art form. It's like, oh, if that can become that, like I actually think it's more exciting to be as masculine as possible out of drag so that the transformation is even more impressive. My mom and I were looking at Friday's show and we discovered together, it's like, so when I was doing that fake character in the beginning, it was really hard to do. It was so not authentic. It wasn't me. But as soon as I became JD in drag, but elevated because it's still in costume, that's her. That's Anita Doll. She's me, but just elevated, not pretending. It's just like, you can't wear a dress and boobs and high heels and not change your persona a little bit, but it's not so much of a change that you're like a completely different person pretending like I was to be like JD's cousin and all that. Like I'm still JD. I'm not splintering. I'm not like, doctors don't call me. I'm not developing a
you're not
multiple personality
fragmented
disorder.
at all, no.
I love it all. I love me. I just think that I finally have the freedom to express myself the way that I want to. And the way I want to express myself is through the art of drag.
I love it.
And now, a mindful moment. Hello and welcome back. I hope that you enjoyed that quote, another mindful moment. Hey, so we're always building the plane as we fly here. We had a plan for today, which included a segment that we taped before, which we might still play here in a little bit. But because we have the illustrious Angelica Perman in studio, and because we have changes coming up here at GGT that impact her show, we thought, why not spend a little bit of time just going over those changes, giving people a chance to know what's coming up so that they can be aware and support the next endeavor.
Awesome.
What's changing, Angelica?
Well, there's a lot changing, right? We launched this with the intent to have a spin-off.
Right.
And shoot in the studio in this way. And it's been a lot of fun. Gotten to connect, have all these conversations live, which has been fantastic. But there's going to be a lot of changes happening in general with the studio moving forward. So we're going to move the set to another location. And I think it's going to be my bedroom, basically. We're going to have a sexy psychic bed set.
Like figuratively, like the set is made to look like your bedroom, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, but you think it'll literally be your bedroom? You're going to sleep on set?
I think it's going to be my bedroom.
That works.
I think, I think
Yes.
so, right? So the concept behind it is just behind scenes in my house. And also, half the time I'm on the phone. This is how I do a lot of my sessions. So during the pandemic, I worked from my bed a lot. I did a lot of FaceTime video and phone calls and did my readings from my bedroom.
I'm a big supporter of sex work. Like, I think if you work from your bed, that's your choice. It is fine.
I made really good money and I kept my
bet you
clothes
did.
on. Okay. I did. But you have to get dressed for the FaceTime video calls, right? So we're going to build a set out. I wasn't unaware we were doing a pre-tape today. What's going to come forward is there was a business consult with KCM Connect with Christy and I, where she looked at my business and some things that I'm going to be launching and supported me.
Good.
And we did a little Zoom.
She did that for us too.
Yeah.
Like that's what she does. She's a marketing and branding expert. So
she's fantastic. And so anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. I don't know if it's going to start next week. Everything's changing because we have to build a set and all the things.
Well, that's good that you brought that up because we talked a little bit about the research I have to do in New York for the next week. So today is Tuesday. We will be here Friday the 8th, 9th, 10th, and then Tuesday the 12th. And then after that, and I guess, so we'll be here this week and next week. Normal in studio. Then the week after that, the week of Easter week, we are going on spring break.
Oh, okay.
And everybody's off. So we're off for like a full week.
Oh, okay.
And
so then we'll be after that.
Yes.
Launching.
And the hope is in May, when we come back, that we will be launching. Well, it's already launched. We're just going to be reimagining the way that the Angelica Perman show works. But you're still going to be bringing the same beautiful content, the prayers, the meditation, the understanding, the readings, the intuition. You're bringing it all as you do always here. But we're changing things to a more virtual friendly setup because the future is long and undefined and has a lot of changes coming. So we want to make sure that no matter what happens, whether this studio is available to us or not, that our shows are all taken care of in a smart way. And thankfully, modern technology, podcasting technology, and live streaming technology has grown in such a magnificent way that we can create this from all over. It doesn't matter where all three of us are. It's always nice to be in the same room together.
Absolutely. So we're going to do that,
Yes.
right? We're going to have some Zoom, so you can still participate. I can have guests from different places, but I can also have guests in my bed. I can do readings in my bedroom.
We hope you have many guests in your bed.
I do too.
We want that to be like just you can install a turnstile. It's like McDonald's, like over 1 billion served. But I'm here all week, folks. Tip your waiter. But yes, we're going to set up whatever the point is that you're the sexy psychic to the stars. And so branding wise, it makes sense to bring people into a comfortable environment. Like I do. Exactly.
Candles and fabric and fluffy world is what I call it. Fluffy land, right?
White fluff. Candles. Wait, what are the colors? champagne, off-white, teal, almond, vanilla, all the soft whites.
All the soft white.
And just
we talked about a
gorge.
camera, a
Exactly.
card cam
Exactly.
from the ceiling.
Like this one,
Okay.
but over your bed.
Right.
Which can double. We're not going to control how you use it. You might have a whole side business pretty soon.
Hey, I've been offered.
Original content, OnlyFans, the Angelica Perman show. No, but so we're going to take things remote and virtual because we have a long future in store for all of us.
Yeah.
But how we get there, technologically speaking, like I think that, we want to be able to be from anywhere.
Right.
So whether we're traveling in Paris or Australia or the Pacific Northwest and about to go to Angelica, we can do it just like that.
Right, or
Because
when
of
I go on
technology.
tour.
Exactly.
Because I'm going to be touring
Exactly,
for my music.
your music.
I've got some things coming up.
The
I'm
Sound
going to-
Empress.
I'm going to Nashville.
I know what it's like. I know what it's like.
I do.
I do.
I
To be a
do.
drag queen. To be a man struggling in a drag queen's body.
Yes.
I love your music and I love
thank
your whole
you.
energy. I believe in you. I believe in your message. And I know that people find you and when they hear you, it helps. That's why I want to be part of your journey. That's why
I
I'm
love
proud
that.
as the owner of the studio
Yes.
to produce your show.
It's fantastic.
So we love that. Mariah will always be here. She's our GGT regular. If she's ever not here, we're not going to be here because she engineers the show.
Right, she holds it down.
And she, of course, has her show segment, A Total B, here. So anytime she wants to bring out her friends or talk about bisexuality or bi plus or the whole bi community, she will be doing that. And I will be bringing you fun updates from, well, of course, our Rainbow Planet is a consistent. We're always going to
Right.
bring you the news, entertainment, and information you can use from the LGBTQ plus world, but also developing this drag persona and the journey that we go on with that. That's what this show's all about. We hope you like it.
Right.
I'm grateful for you, Angelica, to be here today and also to be sharing with everybody the new chapter for the Angelica Perman show.
Yeah, and I
it's very
also want to
exciting.
be able to be on the road, like I was saying. So I'm doing a little gig for the first time in Nashville, a couple events there in May. So it's going to be my first time doing some sound baths there, being hosted. Yeah, I'm really excited. So, I might do something there. I mean, I'm flying on the Tuesday, so who knows,
Right.
Sometimes I could do it on the road.
Well, through the magic of
right?
media, we can do
Yeah.
all kinds of things.
Right.
But sharing that part of your journey with everybody will be so fun for
It's
them.
gonna be exciting.
It really will. I
Yeah.
love Nashville.
I'm it's a big deal for me. It
It's-
just kind of came in, So one of the things I work with is manifesting,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to talk about briefly the energies right now. I mean, astrologically, it's been a very sobering time. Let's just say it has been a very revealing time energetically on this planet. Things are obviously very intense and transformational.
Transformational.
Right? This is what it's
That's
all
a good word.
about, right? And that manifesting used to be one way. The energies have changed. If you guys haven't noticed, you might not be awake yet. Like the energy is totally different. And so one of the things that I do to manifest is I literally stop doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you actually have to trick yourself to not do. Where before there was this energy like you had to do lots of action. It was
Right.
like heavy lifting and, power versus force. Well, we're in a different time now. And if you haven't noticed, if you try too hard, things don't work anymore. Doesn't mean we don't need to effort. Like,
No, I
take care of
completely
these
understand
things.
what you're saying.
But when you're forcing, you feel it really fast.
Trying is not doing. That's what I always say.
And you're
Like,
not being. So the energy right now is being. So the other day I was like,
Ooh, that makes sense.
I had a cancellation and a big chunk of money that was supposed to come in. And I was like, I really want some more money. So I was like,
I want to
right.
transform my bank account
Right, no, wait.
into a fat bank account from a skinny bank
okay,
account.
I should have done that. But I just was like, I would like some money to come to me with ease and grace, and I don't want to do anything about it, right?
And it's coming. I can feel it.
So then my intuition, oh yes, said, open that book over there. I was cleaning, like when things are not flowing, I'll clean, I'll clear. I was doing spring cleaning on steroids, like, seriously. So I was getting to go pick up this book. There was a book on the floor and I was going to give it away. I had a bunch of things to give away. And the guidance was pick up the book. It was a tarot book.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't want to open it up and give myself a reading. I'll read like that. Sometimes pick up the book and open it.
Right.
I open it up And in there was like a little bit of money, like folded up. And I was like, oh, cool.
It's
like
a sign.
Like a little cash, right?
Mm-hmm.
I unfolded it.
A cash.
It was 600 G's.
What?
$600.
Oh, I think it's $600,000.
No.
You're confused about G's and C's, girlfriend. That's 600 C's.
Yeah, it was $600.
Got it.
And I had put it in there over a year ago.
Oh, and you forgot about
and
it?
Everything. And my guidance.
Could you forget having $600 somewhere?
Right?
You know you're living a privileged life if you forget about $600. Like, I have never forgotten about $6. I haven't forgotten about 60 cents. Like, I know where my shit is.
Okay.
$600.
$600. But my guidance said open the book. That's all I had to do. Boom, it was right there.
Oh, that makes me really happy.
Right?
And it's also a sign, right?
It's a sign, right? So these times, that's one of the things I'm going to talk about is manifesting, clearing out the things that are blocking us. Like the standard spiritual issues that we go through, but they're different now. And how do we work with this energy?
Mm-hmm. I love it. And I'm glad that you're tackling those topics. And I think that the reason that your talent is so beautiful is because it is so easily applied to so many different things. Like there is not whether you are a stay-at-home mom or an executive CEO on the go or a jet-setting pop star or a drag queen wannabe, your talents and gifts as a psychic and an intuitive apply. Like we can, and it's always very comforting when I talk to you and I say something and I've had an instinct about it, but I'm not sure. And you're like, yeah, either you confirm it or you're like, no, I'm not getting that for you. And it's really helpful. It really is.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
It's very strong. It's a very strong thing for myself and other people. I'm really blessed to have that. And so I want to talk to people about their own guidance, because when we're following our own guidance, we can actually avoid a lot of pain, suffering, and especially when there's intense things happening.
Right.
Which right now, a lot of people are going through heavy things. I know I have
the
been
whole
constantly,
world.
and everywhere I go, I'm seeing that, right?
Ukraine, Florida, it's just a shitstorm out there. There's a lot of heavy things going on in the world right now. And I think that I imagine a lot of people in your business of intuition are especially feeling the weight of it.
Oh God, there's some of it. As an empath, it's so much. I mean, it's so much. And one of the things I do is I figure out how to clear my energy throughout the day.
Do you have a lesson you can teach us about that?
I do.
Oh, I would love to learn how to clear energy.
Yeah. So first you have to know what's what, right? Like, you know how sometimes you feel a little anxious? You feel a little...
Sometimes.
Stressed.
That's like, I wake up anxious.
Right. So do you have any anxiety right now? Do you feel, I mean, you
no,
talked
because
about
I'm
it.
super high.
Right.
No, I'm just joking. I'm not. I've just said that to make a joke.
That was good.
I know. I like
You pulled it off.
And
you were just talking about a really great subject that made you happy, right? So what about you, Mariah? Are you anxious right now at all?
Actually, no.
Oh, that's good.
Hallelujah.
Okay. All right.
But you know what? If you just give me 2 seconds.
I'm sure it'll...
Think about something stressful.
Oh, God.
All right.
Okay, I'm right there.
All right. Did you think about something stressful? All right. I think you're there, JT, but you're making me laugh too hard to think.
Actually,
All right,
I could
let me
probably
do it
think
too.
about what really makes me... You know what really makes me anxious?
I got one.
Thinking of tucking.
All right.
I did not know how this is going to go down. I don't think there's enough duct tape. Like, it's just not... I wasn't built to tuck.
Okay, he wasn't built to tuck. So you think about something that gives you anxiety.
Got it.
Right?
Everything.
Right, just being a human being.
Yeah, literally.
Right.
Being on this planet.
Right. And a lot of it is just being
QAnon.
sensitive. You're Shady, come on,
It's
man.
a true story. It made me very nervous. You should be nervous, too. That was crazy. That was like a coup on January 6th, folks.
Oh,
Wake
yeah.
up. But yes. Okay, I'm nervous.
All right, so you're nervous. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is knowing what's happening with you, right? And then you ask, is this me? Is this something within me? Or is it something within my mind? Because it's really happening right now.
Right.
Is it happening right now? The thing?
No.
The thing that's making me nervous?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, and you neither, right?
Yeah, no.
Now,
There's no duct tape anywhere near my balls.
Oh, wait, I have some right here.
We will shoot a video about this, and I'm not even kidding. This will be one for the books.
All right,
because,
and then we'll do a meditation for you to get
they're
out
going
of
to
the
need their own
anxiety.
separate meditation. You need to do a sound clearing for the testes. They're like, sorry.
Oh my God. Well, that'll be a first. That'll be a first. I've never done
Yes.
that before.
We'll just put one in each bowl, and the vibration
my God.
will set them free.
You know what?
How do you put one in each bowl?
Well, I have some.
I guess the
bigger
bowls would have to be close to
I
each
have
other.
Small bowls, big bowls, and medium bowls.
This is a
So
tiny
for
little
all-
bowl. They're like little
little
robin
tiny
eggs.
bowls.
They're the cutest little robin eggs.
So we have the little tiny
little
bowls.
almonds.
Oh.
All right, wait. I'm trying to focus here on my technique.
All right, everyone, stop thinking about JD's balls and start thinking about what Angelica's
All
saying.
right. So if you have something you're anxious about, is this happening right now, or is this my mind? Is it in the
Okay.
past?
It's
or
not
is it in
happening
the
right now.
future?
It's
Right?
not real.
Right. So then you open your eyes and you look around. And this is a simple thing to get you out of anxiety. And look at things in the room. So I'm looking at a fan, the lights over there.
I'm looking at all the fans.
Gray couch.
Hi, Rhiannon.
Nice.
So look around the room, the shoes, and just start looking at objects and
Yes.
thinking curtain, fan, stairs, but like the color of it, the table, glass table, without telling a story. Meaning, oh, I got this here, and this reminds me of that.
Sure. Just
That's
the thing.
all you do.
White chair,
Right.
yellow sign, orange plant. Anita's cell phone.
Right. Mariah, you too. Look around and just say a couple things. Look at the wall, the color of the wall, the
Rainbow
monitor.
curtain,
Right.
black speaker.
Oh, I see.
Water
It like
bottle.
grounds you in the present. Like it brings
absolutely.
you to here.
So when people are having panic attacks,
Right.
I
I've
teach
heard
them
this
that.
before. You're
okay.
right. Like focus on things that are real, that you know are real,
without a story.
without a story.
And when I would do it with my clients, they go, "Oh," and then it reminds me of this. I go, "No. It's not an association." Mike, white paper, rainbow hand thing. What is this? Crocheted coaster. That's it. As quickly as you can describe it, and you move
Right.
on. And so, when people go through extreme trauma, it's terrible trauma. Highly PTSD type of people that are really suffering. This is what I give them. And when they're having a panic attack, I'll say, what is it from 1 to 100? They may say it's a 90, 99. I'm literally feel like I'm having a heart attack. I said, let's bring it down to 20. And within less than a minute, 30 seconds often, it goes down to a 20. They breathe and
Isn't
do
that
this
amazing?
technique. So recently a friend of mine had a severe trauma. And when she was going to the airport, she was super freaked out. So I talked to her. I don't know, it was something about the landing and being there in a new city to do this technique. And she said she was doing it in the airport before she got on the plane and when she got off and then when she got to her hotel room, and it helped her a lot. So that's the observation technique.
Got it. I love that.
Right? You can always do it. And then there's another one where you can just tap. So you take two fingers and tap on your wrist. Very gently. And then the other one. And you breathe. And what that does is it grounds your energy.
Sometimes I
calms
tap
you
my
down.
forehead. Does that mean anything?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of tapping. Like,
Okay.
there's
Are
a
you
whole
doing it for
tapping
the echo
exercise.
or the drum beat?
I literally the other day was so in a jumble that I just was like doing this. Which
I can't see you because
I
there's
was
no
going
cam today.
like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
you're
I-
touching your third eye. That's
I didn't have-
self-soothing.
I didn't have any understanding of why. It just like felt like a way to calm down my stress.
Yeah, and it does. I mean, there's
Interesting.
something called
Yeah.
tapping, which is
Okay.
emotional freedom technique. And you
There you
tap
go.
above your eyes, under your eyes,
That's-
by your ears.
And you
under
instinctually
That's
did
kind
it.
of wild because I didn't.
Under your
I've never
mouth.
heard of tapping before.
on
So
your throat, on your heart,
okay.
on your third chakra, second chakra, wrist.
I wonder
it's
why I
above.
Is there
always-
anything here? Because I learned once that squeezing the fat between your thumb and your index finger is
Oh,
really.
it's a pressure point.
I love
Yeah,
it.
so
Like I
this
do
is
it. I
headaches.
used to do it before interviews all the time to calm myself
Right,
down.
Headaches. If you have a migraine or a
Ah.
headache, neck tension, that's what you do right there.
Do you think there's a reason why I instinctually go for my third eye?
Yeah, because I think that you're literally, it's a self-soothing. thing
Salem.
for
That's
you.
wild.
and,
Yeah.
and
That's my answer for
and-
everything for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
was
when
a
you're
Salem
doing that-
witch. For
She
sure.
had a third eye.
Yeah, I was.
And
a
you're
Salem
connecting
witch.
with her. You're like,
Yeah.
I need to go back to a time when I felt really empowered and confident and
Yeah.
safe and calm.
Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
By the
interesting.
way, we got to go to a little road trip.
Oh, we do
We're going to get we can't tell everybody yet,
Yeah.
but
something.
Winnebago.
Oh my goddess.
When the gays
Yes,
go.
when the gays
You know what a
go.
Winnebago is?
A Winnebago.
Imagine a bunch of gays and a Winnebago.
I
Look at that
wanna
Winnebago.
I want to go.
We're going on the road, baby. Like
Yes.
seriously, what a dream. Like we
Yeah.
can't confirm any of that, but I would love to get a remote studio, a mobile studio,
Yes, I want to get
and take this on the road. And then we can bring in popcorns from everywhere to come on in and meet the people that we're talking to. Because the truth is, unless you get out there and really like pound the pavement, shake hands, press the flesh, cuddle with the babies, it's like, are you making a difference?
Cuddle with the babies.
I mean, you can from a studio, of course, but we want to get out there. So that's one possibility. Angelica.
Yes.
Aw, thank you so much.
You're
That is
welcome.
really, I feel like you brought those angel cards down for, I think we have, perfect. We have just enough time to do a little reading.
Oh, okay. Why not?
I would love it. Why don't we do it for everyone? Why don't we like give it out to the world? And
Let's do a little reading.
Let's give it up to the world.
Oh, so I'm not going to be in front of the camera, but that's okay.
I'm trying to see how we can maybe, let's see if I can turn this on.
It's on.
Oh, boop. Okay. So,
Yeah.
why don't you come up here?
Okay.
And I will, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Switching places.
I'm going to switch places so that we can end today's show. This is going to wrap things up with a beautiful reading that takes us all into the rest of our week and our future. Thank you so much for joining us on Gals, Gays, and Days. GGT is recorded before a live YouTube and live Twitch audience and is available as a podcast everywhere. We hope that if you do like us, that you subscribe, follow, and share us with your tribe. Now we're going to end today's show with a very special reading with the incredible Angelica Perman.
Woo woo. Switcheroony.
Get out of my...
Oh my god, perfect.
All right. So,
Can you see my athletic thighs?
hey. They're sexy. Let me move some of these items around.
from the waist down today.
Okay. I
Let's do
love it. A little cam here. So, this is a general reading
All right.
for GGT. And I'm Angelica Perman. There we go. And so, this reading.
Angelica Perman! Every time I hear your name, I want to clap.
I love it.
I love it too.
Okay. I like that reaction. All right, here we go. For the week of, do you know what the date is?
Today's April 5th.
April 5th. So the week of the 5th of April.
Oh, is it the 5th or 6th?
The
Oh,
5th.
First, second, third, fourth, fifth.
Okay, we got the King of Air. This is interesting. So this is about communication. Speak your mind. With confidence, seek out professional advice, balance, mental and emotional considerations. This is brilliant. And this is impartial, professional, diplomatic kind of an energy. So he's the King of Swords, which is the mind. So when the king is a benevolent king, he understands that his heart is connected to the mind. It's not disconnected. So if you're in a position where you need to communicate more clearly, you want to connect with your heart and then your mind. And then that way, everything is coming from a very, very clear space because the mind rules illusion. So the King of Air can also be very cold, very mental, not necessarily of the heart. And so I'm suggesting that, especially with the Aries energy right now, that you want to breathe and connect with your heart as much as possible, but try your best. If you have to have any conflict with other people or a really tough situation, that you're very calm, cool, and collected, like the King of Air.
And a cucumber.
And a cucumber. I don't know why you said
Cool
that.
like a cucumber.
Okay. And then we've got the Awakening, Archangel Gabriel.
It's one of my favorite archangels.
I love Archangel
Michael
Gabriel.
and Gabriel.
So this is about looking at things from a different perspective. So this is interesting. So you've got that mental card of communicating and then looking from a different perspective. He's upside down in this card with the trumpet. So he's playing the trumpet. He's got is he playing it? He's holding it. So he's holding the trumpet. So
Is that a trumpet?
it is definitely a trumpet. We're not going to go there. It's an archangel. It's a trumpet. So anyway, it's a clarion call. It's wake up. Wake up. Get out of your mind. The illusion of darkness. The illusion that you're trapped. It's about taking the steps towards spiritual mastery, connecting with your heart, connecting with your spirit, really seeing the path that's being shown to you. This is overcoming darkness by being the light, by being connected to a higher sense of self, awakening. Allow yourself to wake up. And what is an awakening? It's a change in perspective. It's a change in point of view. A miracle is a change in consciousness. So if you're going through something really difficult, that you don't have all the answers, wake up, wake up, wake up, and you will get the answers very clearly.
Cock-a-doodle-doo, folks.
Okay, JD. Now we've got the Knight of Earth as the outcome, right? So this is really interesting. So this is basically the material world. He's the Knight of the material world, okay? He's all about being loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. Now, I believe that this is about the perspective shift of being of the mind first, being an illusion, going through that and awakening, and then bonding the spiritual with the material plane, with honorable choices, with respect, with love, with clear decision making that's based on love, not just the love of money. Because when we choose for the love of money, we're in our mind, we're an illusion, and we're not where we need to be. The principle of generosity is reciprocity, right? Being reciprocal. And money grows when we give it away, when we offer it in a mutually beneficial way in exchange for something.
I, for one, want to give everyone that opportunity.
Yes.
So if you need to give money away, www.modpodstudio.com.
Right. My Venmo, Angelica Perman. Yes, please.
Give it
And
away.
thank you
That's
for
all
all the
we got.
readings that I do. You can send it to there. Okay. And this is time to get buckle down and get things done. This is a very focused energy. It's making money, yo. Right? That's what it's about. So it's taking the mind and then awakening and bringing the abundance. But it's a knight. It's not a king. So it's not necessarily a full idea that's totally manifested yet. Mm-hmm. It's a newish idea. It's taking what you're learning and turning it into...
More will be revealed.
Yes, more will be revealed.
I agree with that.
And then we got, the 10 of Earth. So this is money, money, money card.
Money, money, money.
The 10 of Earth is balancing all the things. Luxury, finance, family, friends, love. It's one of my favorite cards. It's spiritual, material abundance. And
I love that.
yeah, this is a very happy and rewarding family life. And some of us, it's soul family. It's earth family that's not our birth family.
Right.
And I see that with this card, that this is about community. And during the spring, us all connecting to like other communities, other pods,
All right.
and then bringing in more abundance because we're collabing. So if you're working on something, a venture where you're really interested in growing that, right? Connecting with like-minded people to grow your collaboration.
It's like we're all coming out of bubbles and finally getting to interact again.
Yes.
I feel like
then,
that is a theme of life right now.
yeah, and the masks are off. It's spring in Los Angeles and you know, in different parts of the world, it's a different thing because it depends on where you are. If you're south of the equator or something far enough, it's a different weather pattern. But for most of us, we're in spring, right? And what is spring? It's setting the seeds of intention and manifesting them. This is a powerful, busy time, guys. Use your energy wisely. Do not use your mind on fear. It will test you. Aries energy is a very volatile vibration. Aries is the god of war. We're in a war right now. There's also a spiritual war on this planet. If you look at the difficulties that people are facing, the only true explanation is that it's a spiritual war. What's happening inside is being reflected and magnified outside of us. So if you want more abundance, you want more love, awaken, meditate, connect from the heart, and don't give up because it's just about to happen, yo. This is like the things are going to happen. It might have looked so hopeless even a week ago, but I get perseverance wins the race. So that's your reading.
I love it. Don't give up. And remember, don't let perfection be the enemy of fabulous.
Exactly.
Right.
So
Keep trying.
I offer readings and sessions by phone and FaceTime video at angelicaperman.com. You can book me and you can follow me on Instagram at my name, Angelica Perman. And my music will be launching soon. And I'm really excited about it. But it's interesting because these projects, you put so much into them, and then sometimes you have to wait for the final reveal because there's a timing element to it, right? But I'm feeling this.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know what? How hard do you, Mariah? Do you have Angelica's interstitial pulled up by chance?
Yeah.
Because she just teased her music, which I love. And I know we never do this, but how about if we end today's show on your interstitial?
Love it.
That way people leave today's show with, I know what it's
Well,
like.
we also have the end
ear.
one that you made last week
Yeah.
that
we can
has
do that.
the end, which I also like, and that has
perfect.
it there.
Yeah.
We can end on that.
Yeah, so that's the excerpt from the song "I Know What It's Like." That'll be out. I'll have a music video
Music
soon.
and lyrics by Angelica Perman, produced by
Rusty Mack.
There you go.
Rusty on the drums.
Let's give a shout out to all the people that make the art and
all the
magic
links are
happen.
in the description too.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we'll be here next on Friday at 2 live. You can check out our podcast anywhere. And as always, we love you, and do not let perfection be the enemy of fabulous. Bye.
Bye.
Feel it, I have it, I must not give up but get more. I saw it, I said it, I will not regret it, no longer be weak or play small.